Welcome to the Undisputed podcast. I'm your host, Jenny Taft. This podcast is the full show from today's episode of Undisputed from start to finish. We've got a busy slate, so skip Shannon. Let's get to it.
Welcome to Undisputed. We are live from Los Angeles. I'm Jenny Taft here with Skip Bayless, Shannon Sharpe. Good morning.
The bomb just dropped in Dallas.
Right in time.
We did it.
What you mean we?
You know what? I got to just give him a standing ovation for that. No, we just got to give him a standing ovation.
What you mean we?
Yes, we did it.
Oh, we.
Finally. Happy days are here again. Super Bowl, here we come.
We.
No,
you and I.
We got this.
You, Jenny, and myself is a we. Not no cowboy, Skip Bayless. Don't get up here.
Jenny, somebody across the table, somebody owes me 10 more cases of Diet Dew.
No.
Even Jenny said, really? You're going to accept that bet?
I was there for that.
I accepted it.
I'm not going to get
I'm up to 42 cases now. 42 cases.
We'll talk about this a little bit, Skip.
Okay.
You look nice today.
Thank you, Shannon.
You?
That.
I'll deal with you in a minute.
Yes, you will. So, by the way, remember the commercial that we did last fall? It was so great, the Undisputed commercial.
Yes, I remember.
Could we just see the first of it? Just the opening few seconds of it, please? Jumping out of bed. Oh, there he is on my bedside table.
There's your guy.
Yep, there he is. I must admit, last night before I went to bed, I took my Zeke picture and I put it in the drawer.
No.
Because nothing was happening. And I was getting panicky. I woke up in the middle of the night. It was like midnight for us.
Okay.
And I went over and checked to see if it had happened. Nothing had happened. And I started thinking, you got me.
What?
Something has gone very wrong here. So suddenly, this is the most pleasantly shocking surprise I've had in a long time. They finally got it done.
Yep.
It's time for this show to start.
Did you take the picture out?
Yes.
Okay,
now
good.
tonight it will be back in its place.
Sure. You need to give it a little kiss or something.
You know what? I'll kiss that picture before I go to bed tonight.
We have so much to get to today. Zeke isn't the only one who got it done. Jared Goff has a new deal. How will that impact Dak's negotiations? And as Tom Brady had his biggest offensive loss of the season. But guys, there is only one place to start today, and that is with Zeke. Earlier this morning, Ezekiel Elliot and the Cowboys agreed on a 6-year, $90 million extension with $50 million guaranteed. Overall, Zeke's contract is now 8 years and $103 million, which makes him the highest paid running back in the league. Zeke is expected to be at practice today and to play this Sunday against the Giants. So, Shannon, who won this deal, Zeke or Jerry?
Well, it's a no-brainer, Zeke. Because Zeke went into the season having 2 years of security. Now he has $50 million guaranteed in security. Zeke wanted to top Todd Gurley. He topped Todd Gurley in every aspect. $50 million to $45 guaranteed. He got 6 years, $90 million. He got the $15 million skip average that he wants, and he got a contract in excess in total value over $100 million. He didn't lose. Now people are like, well, Jerry this, Jerry. No, Jerry didn't win because had Zeke played this season, Zeke would have made $3.9 million. I can assure you, Zeke this year is going to get more than $3.9 million based on the value of the contract. So Zeke won easily. He put his foot down. I believe had Zeke come to camp and just went about his business, Jerry was going to let this thing play out because we all know they had this year a fifth-year option, and need be, they had 2 franchise tags they could have used on Ezekiel Elliot. But Ezekiel Elliot also understood that my value is never going to be higher than it is right now at 24, 25, 26 years of age. The next 3 years, I'm going to be in my absolute peak prime. And the difference is, and we're going to talk about this a little later, Skip, in the next segment, is the difference between running backs and every other position. A running back must take a big bite of the apple because in all likelihood, he will never, ever get a bigger bite of an apple. Quarterbacks, other skill, they can take nibbles because they're going to get another bite and another bite and another bite. Running backs do not have that luxury. Zeke had to take a stand here and now, and he understood his value to this team, Skip. Everybody doesn't have this luxury that Zeke has. He's a very unique type of running back. And the NFL is a copycat league. And I don't know who started it, Skip, but somebody said the running back is devalued. And then somebody else heard it and echoed it. We're running back to devalue. The running back to devalue. The running back to devalue. And then
I think Mel Kiper pushed that
narrative. Whoever pushed it, Skip, it caught like wildfire and blew through the NFL.
It did.
But there are certain running backs that are very unique. And Ezekiel Elliot is one of those running backs. And he should be compensated for his uniqueness and what he brings to a team. All quarterbacks' value is not equal. All running backs, all players are not equal. Even though they might, quarterbacks, you have quarterbacks, 32 starters, but they're not all on the same level playing field, Skip. The same with running backs. Zeke is a top running back in the league, and the Cowboys rewarded him knowing what he's done for this team and what he could possibly do over the next 3 years. Skip, I don't even look at, 6-year extension plus the 2 years he got. That's 8 years for over $100 million. Skip, I don't get in that. I go 3 years at a time when you look at a contract because that's when it starts getting binding, when you see those cap numbers starting to get up to the $18 to $20 million where teams like, okay, do we redo it or do we just go ahead and cut our losses and move forward? So I'm looking at 3 years, and Ezekiel Elliott, he won this deal.
The truth is, I am so relieved right now, and I'm so happy right now that I'm really not in the mood to say somebody won.
You don't even care now, do you?
But the show must go on. For the last 3 months, I predicted that Zeke would sign on Tuesday, September the 3rd, which was the players' day off ahead of the first practice to start getting ready for the Giants Sunday, Game 1. So they practice, obviously, today, tomorrow, Friday, to get ready for that. And when it bled into last night, as I just mentioned in our open, I got a little queasy. I was a little queasy yesterday because I wanted it just to be over. And it felt a little like Rocky Arsenault, the agent, had grandstanded a little bit yesterday to try to turn up the public heat on Jerry, like, oh, we just came back, we're here, now give us our money, right? Like they were a little desperate, yet that's how it came across when I looked at the airport little media session that Rocky gave. It just felt like he's saying, we're very, very, very close. Jerry? And Jerry doesn't usually respond well to that kind of public pressure. So that's why I got a little bit of cold feet last night. But now that it's done, now smoke clears in my brain and I sit back, I'm a little surprised about the 6 years because that goes into perpetuity almost for a running back. It's like, that's it. He is going to end his career as a Dallas Cowboy because plus the 2 he already owed them, that's 8 years. He's 24, 32. Is he going to go past 32? I don't know. The way he runs.
But Skip, they had to do it like this because two things that accomplishes two things. Zeke gets what he wants, and Jerry gets the cap space that he needs.
All right. So can Ezekiel Elliott, almost as we speak, walk into that locker room today with his head held high and his chest out? You better believe he can. And I told you I thought Jerry had one ace up his sleeve, one creative caveat, and I think it was that if you extend it for 8 years, he got a grand total of $103 million, and they're trying to now sell it. The first Dallas Cowboy ever to get a $100 million contract. Although, when I look back at Demarcus Lawrence, I don't know why. It says 5 years, $105 million. I don't know, but let's give him that. Let's let him eat today because I want him to be happy. And he paid a pretty severe toll for this because that was hard what he just did.
What, 42 days? 42 days?
Day 42.
I got to tell you, that's a lot of lonely time in Cabo. That's a lot of hours watching something where you're just like, you're just getting sick and tired of not being with your football team, right? So he paid a severe price to get what he got. But here's the God's truth. When the smoke finally clears, we're about to talk about Dak getting signed. Amari is yet to be signed. He's due to make $13.9 this year, but I think at some point this year he's going to get re-signed. When that all happens, Ezekiel Elliott's going to wind up being the 4th highest paid Dallas Cowboy, just barely above Zach Martin, just barely. But just for the record, if we look back at what Demarcus Lawrence just recently got, it wasn't that long ago. He got 25 to sign. He got $65 million guaranteed to Zeke's 50. He's a defensive end. He's a pass rusher. And his average annual is $21 million to what are they saying Zeke is now, 15-ish?
15.
Okay. Okay, so that hurts my eyes to look at that because I'm a big Zeke fan.
Yeah.
I keep arguing with you. I think he's the best running back in football. Now we're back to devalued position.
Well, Skip, the guy, D linemen are premium. I mean, basically it goes quarterbacks.
Okay,
because,
I got it. But just to me,
yeah,
I'm a nut. You know, I love this team, and I love this team's potential. But if you force my hand, if you made me pick one or the other going into this year, number 21 or Demarcus Lawrence, Zeke or Demarcus, I'm taking Zeke all day and all night.
Yeah.
I am. He's just more valuable to the football team.
Right.
Again, I want the pass rusher. Right. I need a pass rusher. And
that's why they make premium, because you got the quarterback that's making, and he's next in line.
Okay, but my point is, Demarcus Lawrence, to me, is not more valuable than Ezekiel Elliott, and he now makes $15 million more guaranteed money than Zeke does.
But
how should Zeke feel about that?
He should feel very good because Zeke had 2 years left on his contract plus 2 franchise tags. D-Law was free. D-Law was free.
Okay, so he played it out.
Right.
And he's now 27 years of age.
And
but
if Zeke had played his out, Skip, he'd have been 26. You know, running backs at the age of 26, with the amount of wear and tear Zeke's going to have in his – Skip, they're going to give him 300-plus carries this year.
Okay.
And again next year.
All right. We're about to talk about this, but I'm just going to throw a quick number out there about Dak. Carson Wentz got $108 million guaranteed. Jared Goff just got $110 million guaranteed. I will bet you Dak is going to get 112, something in that ballpark.
Yeah.
Okay, let's just do a hypothetical. He gets 112. Zeke got 50. They're best buddies. How's one buddy going to feel about the other buddy getting more than twice as much guaranteed as he got?
Because you understand, Skip.
Do you understand?
Yes.
I don't know. You keep telling me that Zeke is way more valuable than Dak.
But the quarterback, Skip, look, the quarterback, you look at some of these teams that have quarterbacks, and the quarterback's like, huh? Yeah. How did he get that? But just by position that he plays, that's what's so unfair about these contracts, Skip. They base it on the position that you play, not how good you are. So I'm looking at, like, you look at baseball, you look at basketball. A point guard can make just as much as LeBron James, who can make just as much as a center. Not that we really have centers, conventional centers anymore, Skip. But the quarterback, he needs to fall into this. Wide receivers and running backs. Zeke had to hold out 42 days just to get that, Skip.
See, the salary boundaries for the running back, to me, are out of whack. Yeah. They're just not fair, which leads to Amari Cooper, still unsigned. Still, he's going to make a nice check this year already. Right. But let's look at recently Michael Thomas got 5 years, $96.3 million. That's an average annual of 19.3. Yeah. That's 60.6 guaranteed.
Yes.
Let's look at Odell, 5 years, 90. He got $65 million guaranteed. What do you think Amari's going to get? Will he get more than 50 guaranteed?
Yeah,
yes,
absolutely.
he will.
But here's the thing. You hear the Falcons talking about Julio is coming up short.
I'm not even dealing with him yet because it hasn't fallen.
And he says he wants more than 20. Yep. And then you got A.J. Green who's out. And so that's what Amari said. I'm cool. Jerry's already told him, Skip, he's going to make him top 5. Mm-hmm. Okay, with top 5, you look at where these numbers are going, that's going to be somewhere between $18 and $21 million. So Amari's not going to be like, okay, I'm not terribly disappointed, but, Skip, nobody says, okay, you know what, my contract's up. I'm cool with being the 4th highest paid. Okay. You know how that works, Skip. Okay. I want to be the highest.
So help me out here.
Okay.
Then a month from now.
Yes.
How will Ezekiel Elliott feel as he walks back into the Cowboy locker room thinking, Dak got more than twice as much as me. Amari got a whole lot more than I got.
Yes.
And Demarcus Lawrence got a lot more than I got. Wait a second.
Those are things he should have thought about, Skip, before he started playing running back. You understand where
I don't think he thought about that at all.
No,
when he was a little kid, he said, "Give me the ball," right?
You know what, Skip? When you like, okay, when I wanted to play in the NFL, I didn't really know what position I was going to play. I was going to be happy to play anything.
Absolutely.
So you understand, Skip, quarterback's going to make the most. It goes quarterback, and then it goes guys that have to go get after the quarterback. That's why the Aaron Donalds, the Khalil Macks, and the Von Millers, and now D-Law makes what they make because the quarterback. Well, if the quarterback's making X, well, you got to pay the guy that's going to bring X down. You got to pay Y big-time money also. Skip, Zeke understands. Zeke had to hold out 42 days just to get this. Quarterbacks don't miss a beat. Quarterback is really the only position that never has to even threaten to hold out to get their money. Every other position will have to threaten to get what they do. Look at Khalil Mack, Skip. What else could he have done? Look at Aaron Donald. Aaron Donald was a defensive player of the year and had to hold out. Khalil Mack was a defensive player of the year, had to hold out.
Just go down my Cowboy offensive line. Ty Smith, did he hold out?
No.
Did Zach Martin?
No.
Did Travis Frederick? Did
No.
Lyle Collins?
No.
They all got huge
Exactly.
money. Zach Martin's deal is close to Zeke's. It's just under Zeke's, but it's a lot of money.
When you look at the running backs, look at Le'Veon. What did he have to do, Skip? Zeke, what do you have to do? What's Melvin Gordon doing right now, Skip? Like I'm saying, the running back, quarterbacks have never even threatened to hold. Now, once upon a time, Skip, but since this new CBA in 2011, quarterbacks don't have to worry about anything. What you call him had another year, had this year, and his fifth-year option. Jared Goff.
Okay.
And they redid it. I don't know what the Cowboys are waiting on, Skip, for your guy.
I told you, I already predicted the other bombshell is about to drop. But I got to tell you, it must have just happened, but down on Wall Street, Jerry Jones, Stephen Jones were there this morning
to ring the bell
to open the New York Stock Exchange, and I bet Jerry was ringing it with
timing.
vigor. Boom.
New York, y'all let Jerry Jones in there.
Yeah.
Knowing y'all playing, the Giants are playing this week, and y'all let him in there.
Yeah, but he'll just hop right back. He'll probably copter over to Teterboro and private jet back to Dallas. And I'm pretty sure after today's practice, I'm going to guess.
I heard it was tomorrow, Skip. He's going to do it
okay, well,
tomorrow.
Maybe it's tomorrow. But I thought Jerry could get back to do it post-practice.
Yeah, I'm just saying, Steve was telling me in the room that Jerry's going to have his thing tomorrow to talk about the contract.
They all deserve to have, as Stephen always calls it, a happy moment.
The kumbaya moment.
You got to have a happy moment. But I believe Jerry is very happy because Zeke won in the little picture, but I still think Jerry won in the big picture. He's got him under contract for 8 more years.
Yeah.
He's going to retire a Dallas Cowboy, I'm pretty sure.
Skip, you know good and well, all you doing is looking at these next 3 years. You're looking at 2019, 20, and 21.
Okay. So he got his guaranteed 50.
Yes.
Is it going to break the bank?
No.
Is it great for a running back? Yes.
Right.
I will give you that.
Because what does it do, Skip? It keep advancing the ball. Saquon's coming up. Alvin Kamara's up.
Yeah.
Christian McCaffrey's going to be up.
And in 3 more years, you'll say, oh, he's underpaid. Am I right?
Yes.
Wow.
And he has mitigating circumstances around him. Off the field, no choir boy, right?
Yeah.
We've had incident upon incident after incident, some of them not publicized.
Right.
On the field, he will run through brick walls. Has he been healthy? Has he missed a game? He has not missed a game.
Yeah.
So again, so I think it kind of evened out, and Jerry finally kind of closed his eyes and said, okay, I'll sleep with my cell phone under my pillow, as you always say, because history would not just tell you, it would scream at you, there will be another incident.
Skip, Jerry knows that guy's special. Why you think Jerry says I earned the right to joke with him? Because although he stood side by side and said we're not going to relitigate what transpired, but Zeke, he's like, I'm vouching for him. He knows that guy's special.
Okay. He also knows he is high risk.
Yes, absolutely.
Right? High risk off the field.
Yeah, he knew that when he drafted him.
He got suspended once, and I thought he should have been suspended for the Las Vegas incident, and I still don't know how he skated on that one, but thank you, Roger. Maybe it's a little makeup call. I don't know.
Skip Bayless, when you're worth $7 billion, what information can't you find out about a person? They did their homework on Ezekiel Elliot.
You would hope so.
They knew everything.
Yep.
They don't just go at Skip. They don't really. They ask as a courtesy. Urban, what you think of this kid? What's Urban gonna say? He's terrible? Because if that ever got out that Urban Meyer, who was a head coach, said something bad about a player, what do you think those 4 and 5 star guys?
He's not going to tell you.
Exactly.
And in some ways, I'm not sure Urban knew everything. Some of that's like plausible deniability. Just don't tell me.
Skip, they send people out. You just, hey, he don't look like anybody. He's a friend. Man, what you think of Zeke Elliott? What type of guy is it? Oh, man, you don't even know who you're talking to, Skip.
Well, all I say is put the tape in, because if you put in the tape against St. Nick's defense, and that was the national semifinals.
Oh, yeah.
230?
Wait,
230?
Look at the Big 12, the Big 12, the Big 10 championship.
Look at it.
And then against Oregon. But
it ran wild.
Yeah.
At the end of the, you have to, Skip. He came with red flags. But as Bill Davis, there was a scout came in there and asked me. He was asking about me. He didn't know I was in there because I was coaching. I was on work study, Skip, so I worked for the coach. And the scout came in there and said, "Well, Bill, tell me about this kid Sharpe." Bill said, "Hey, the tape is on the table. Hell, you ain't gonna believe anything I tell you anyway. Watch the tape. You watch the tape on this guy, Skip. you're willing to roll the dice because you realize from the moment you cut the tape on, he's special. He's improved his hands, so now you know he was a hell of a runner. Tremendous in blitz pickup. And now he can catch the ball too. He's a complete back.
Best back in football.
And guess what?
And now he's ours for a long time.
And Jerry says, you know what? Jerry says, I keep my phone on anyway. So if it's somebody I don't know that recognize the number, I'm gonna answer it anyway. But guess what? Anybody that's gonna call Jerry Jones that might have some information about Zeke, Jerry's got their number. It's popping up in his phone.
So I will conclude with the first line from Todd Archer's account of Zeke signing. This is on ESPN.com. He's been covering the Cowboys for years and years.
He took over for you, huh?
No. I didn't ever cover the Cowboys. I just wrote about it.
Oh, you just wrote about it. You were just living in Dallas,
He lived it.
I lived it. I did. Todd Archer writes, now that running back Ezekiel Elliott has his contract extension, there is one thing left for the Dallas Cowboys to do, win the Super Bowl.
Woo.
I concur.
Yeah.
Here we go.
Skip. But before that happens, we're going to talk about it. They better sign Dak before they win the Super Bowl. Skip, if you...
Shall we? We got to get back to it.
Shannon, it's your only hope.
What? What am I hoping for? I'm happy.
We have another impasse.
No, Skip, I'm not like that.
His
I mean, do you
expectations
really
are
think
high.
I'm like that, Skip? Oh, my goodness.
That version of you is definitely like that. So the Zeke frame pick, it's here to stay. It can be on display again? We're good to go?
It will, for the next 8 years, it's going to be
8
on my bedside
years.
table, and it'll be the first thing I see when I wake up.
Woo.
Okay.
All right, that's commitment.
Okay.
You guys, we mentioned
for the
it.
next 3 years. How about that? Yeah.
Jared Goff got paid as well, so how will that impact Dak? I gotta know what Skip is gonna say next. Don't forget, you can check us out every day on the Fox Sports channel on SiriusXM. We'll be right back.
No mercy.
Are you ready for what's ahead? You can't always predict the future, but you can game plan for it. Generations of families and businesses have harnessed the power of Pacific to help them reach their unique goals. Whether you need to save enough money to meet your needs, ensure your family is protected, or make sure you don't run out of money, Pacific Life has a variety of financial solutions that can help. Pacific Life counts more than half of the 100 largest U.S. companies as its clients and has been named one of the 2019 World's Most Ethical Companies by the Ethisphere Institute, protecting what matters most to people for 150 years and counting. That's the power of Pacific. Ask a financial professional about how Pacific Life can help you game plan for your future or visit www.pacificlife.com.
No mercy.
Well, before Zeke this morning, it was Jared Goff last night who got paid. The Rams quarterback got a 4-year extension worth $134 million and an NFL record $110 million guaranteed. Dak Prescott is reportedly seeking over $30 million a year for his new deal after his current contract expires at the end of this season. So, Shannon, how will Goff's new deal impact Dak Prescott's negotiations?
Skip, the price of a quarterback today is not what it was yesterday.
Ooh, that is
true.
true.
And the price keeps going up, and Dak is looking around here as another member from his class that just got a deal. Now, Dak and Todd France going to walk in Jerry Jones's office. And you know how Skip, he always have them LeBron lights queued up. They just go put the tape in, and they go see Skip Bayless banging on the desk that he's better than Jerry Goff. He won the division twice. He has a high QBR, yada, yada, yada.
Yada, yada, yada.
And then Jerry Jones go pick up the phone and call you and say, Skip, I need you to shut up. I need you to stop talking because you're killing my case.
My fault. Yep.
You're killing my
I think
case.
that's it.
I don't know what Jerry's waiting on, Skip. The price is not coming down for quarterbacks. It's like real estate in Malibu. The ocean is there, and they're not growing any more property. The land is what it is, Skip. If you want to live there, you're going to have to pay for it. If you want a quarterback, you're going to have to pay for it. It's as simple as that, Jerry. So I don't know what you thought you was going to get because Kirk Cousins set the standard, Skip. When he got 3 years fully guaranteed at $84 million, everybody's like, I'm way better than First Cousins. I'm not taking less than $80 million guaranteed. Yep. And now you see Aaron Rodgers get $80 million just to sign his name on the line.
Yep.
Walking to him got 66 and a half. Russell Wilson got 70. Dak Prescott's like, hey, Jerry, you can make the numbers whatever you want to, but the starting point is about somewhere between $65 and $70 million for me to walk into your office and sign this contract. Now, he got 110. Dak's like, I'm at least worth that. So that's the starting. Todd France, who's Dak's representative, like that's the starting point right there. Is $110 million guaranteed. And the difference is, Skip, this man is up. It's a lot. Jerry is more over a barrel in this situation than he was Zeke.
I agree.
And Zeke ended up getting exactly what he wanted, which was more than Gurley on average, signing bonus, and total contract. Dak's going to be a free agent. And what you try to avoid, Skip, is that big $28, $29 million that goes cap value. You don't really want that until like the 4th or the 5th year. Then you can do something with it. You don't want Dak at $28 million, Skip, card cap value. That eats up too much. You're going to have to start losing players. Jerry's going to have to go ahead and bite the bullet on this one, Skip. And I believe that Jerry is not really totally, fully sold, gung-ho, bought in, both feet. Philadelphia jumped on Wentz, walking to him's bandwagon with both feet. Okay. The Rams did the same thing with Goff. Skip, I don't know where they're waffling, but they need to put the knee braces on and just go ahead and jump because they might sprain their knee or something. But Dak prices keep going up and up. It's like gas on the weekend. You pay more for gas on the weekend than you do on a Wednesday. So you better go ahead and get it, Jerry.
Well, you just said Jerry should bite the bullet, but according to you, he should actually take the bullet because you don't think this guy's very good. You think this guy's average at best, Dak Prescott, right?
You run the risk of doing what the Ravens did with Joe Flacco. Everybody thought Joe Flacco was average. Then what happened, Skip? He went to and won the Super Bowl, and he became, for the next 3 years, the highest paid quarterback in the NFL.
He also is the greatest anomaly in the history of quarterbacks because his regular season is way below average. His playoff numbers, if you just look at them in a vacuum,
10 and 5, it's hard to beat.
They're extraordinary.
Yes.
They're all-time great.
And that run that he had, it's hard to top that run that he had.
What's your favorite line from Teddy KGB and Rounders? What is it?
Pay the man.
It's pay that man his money. Right? Okay. That's what I'm saying to Jerry right now. I'm saying that.
Get it done.
Jerry, now. Again, Jerry has been thinking about this for months. He has been negotiating with Dak's team for months.
Yes.
I think the parameters are already out in the middle of the table. Now it's time to just get it done. He needed to make sure. Here's what I think happened. I believe, and I have no problem with this, that Zeke's people went in, probably Rocky Arsenal as the point man, asking for quarterback money. And you can make a case he deserved quarterback money. In the grand scheme of things, he probably did.
Right.
He finally settled for top running back money,
Yes.
and so Jerry can breathe a little easier because I think he had already budgeted in that Zeke is going to get top running back money.
Yeah.
Which now opens the budget to the next phase, which is the quarterback. And I believe you have to give him $112 million guaranteed.
Yes.
And I think you have to give him 30, what's Goff is 33, so 34.
Yeah.
34 a year.
Yeah.
Sounds like a lot. Do I think he's better than Jared Goff? You better believe I've seen it twice. He's played him twice, and he's outplayed him dramatically both times, to my eye. I'm doing eye test and QBR test in both games.
Right.
Do I think he's better than your guy, Carson Wentz? Limping to him Wentz, who always seems to get hurt?
That says enough.
Okay. Do I think he's better? Yes, I do. And I respect Carson Wentz. I do. He's a fine young player. This guy's just better. He's a better leader, and he's a better playmaker than Carson Wentz, and he did beat Carson Wentz head-to-head twice last year.
So all the quarterbacks that's got, let's just go with the quarterbacks that's gotten money this offseason.
Okay, do I think, we'll do Kirk Cousins. Throw him in. Do I think my guy's better than Kirk? He's 4-0 against Kirk Cousins. I miss Kirk Cousins in Washington. I need him back in Washington. I fear Case Keenum more than Kirk Cousins.
Great.
I do.
You ought to be ashamed of yourself.
Honestly,
Great.
I'm sorry to say that.
I know.
But I do.
Clearly.
Because, listen, Case Keenum's just a gutty little battler. You know, like he'll just fight you.
Well, Skip, they might have had, Todd France may have had the parameters of a contract in front of Jerry. But guess what?
Okay.
Walking to him side, he snatched it back. Said, I got another proposal.
I got it.
And so-
You're right. You're right. No, you were right.
I love it.
Although when I do look down this list of quarterback annual earnings, I do come way, way down here to the middle of the pack, and there's this guy up in Foxborough.
That guy.
What's that guy's name?
They ain't got nothing to do with me.
What's that guy's
They ain't got
name?
nothing to do with me. They got nothing to do with me.
He makes
something different.
23. So now
Yeah.
Jared Goff makes 33, but
Yeah.
Tom Brady makes 23.
Okay.
Huh.
Tom chose that.
Well-
he chose that life.
Trust me, Jerry Jones is bringing up Tom Brady as we speak
Yeah.
to whoever it is, Todd France, whoever it is, to somebody. He might be bringing it up straight to Dak today.
The Dak ain't talking to Jerry.
You are our Tom Brady, and you will be for the next 15 years.
No, he said, look here. Tom Brady won a Super Bowl in his second year starting. Well, actually, his first year starting, his second year in the league. I'm in my fourth year. I ain't got no Super Bowl yet. He said, I'm not basing anything on Tom Brady. I'm talking about what I've done for you right now.
Okay? So there is one huge difference between Dak and Jared Goff and Dak and Carson Wentz, and that is those other two franchises, Rams, Eagles, they bet the ranch, they bet their pride, they bet their jobs on those two quarterbacks up high in the draft, and the Eagles traded up some spots to get Carson Wentz.
They did.
Jared Goff goes high,
He's first overall.
That's what I'm saying. They just said, hey, we're taking
That's
that guy. And you put a lot in that.
Yes.
You put your reputations on the line, and ultimately your job status would be on the line with ownership. Did you swing and miss? So obviously, when they have their first opening to validate their picks, they just leap through the opening and say, yeah, we're going to give them record money, record guaranteed, because we believe in them, because we believe in us.
Do you believe in Dak?
Okay, but did Jerry believe in Dak when they were drafting? He didn't
No.
know who he was.
No.
Remember, there were stories that he wanted 2 or 3 other quarterbacks before they got to the 4th round.
He wanted Paxton Lynch, right?
And what's the kid's
Wanted
name?
Manziel.
Cook. What's his name? I can't.
Oh,
think.
yeah,
Michigan
Connor
State.
Cook. Connor Cook.
Yeah, I don't even know what happened to him.
Yeah.
Cook. Fuck.
I don't know
either.
either.
But
That says something.
okay, Skip. Those Jared Goff went number 1. Carson Wentz was traded up for, went number 2. Okay, they got their guy. Jerry did not realize what he had with Dak, even though he selected him in the 4th round. If you identify your guy, now you believe that he's your guy, what are you waiting for?
Nothing. That's what I said. How about tomorrow? How about Friday?
Yeah.
How about another big media bombshell of momentum into Sunday? Because if you get Zeke and Dak done ahead of game 1, you don't think that locker room it doesn't put pep in there. It's like nuclear pep. Right?
Nuclear pep.
Yeah, here we go.
I love that prep. I love that. I love that because there's something that comes along with $100 million. It's just something like the $6 million man. Skip, you remember that? Bonnick man, $6 million man. But it's something about when you hear $100 million related to an athlete. It's something about that number. I don't know what it is, but when you hear $100 million, expectation just go. They got $100 million expectations.
You don't think this team has had expectations for the last 2 years?
No, they had
3 years.
No, Skip.
They've only won the division 2 or 3 years. I think they're pretty comfortable with expectations.
Skip Bayless, look here. The thing is that the Cowboys are the Cowboys. They haven't won jack in a quarter century.
They've won 2 divisions and a
Man,
playoff
nobody
game.
care about no divisions.
Well, I do. It's baby steps.
It ain't no baby step. Well, y'all been a
I had
baby
a
for a
baby
long
team.
time. Y'all been a baby a long time. You need to grow up.
We're growing up
You
right
got
before
grown
your
man
very
teeth
eyes.
to talk about you a baby.
Yeah, we're about to be grown men this year.
Driving,
Watch.
Jenny. Got driving license talking about I'm a baby.
Yeah,
You're putting the
watch.
pressure on Skip. I saw your Instagram post before
I
the
am
show.
good. Watch and weep.
Okay,
We're
Skip.
ready.
Yeah.
Everything is lined up perfectly.
It is.
You getting everything that you want. Anything less than Jerry Jones receiving a trophy from Roger Goodell is going to be unacceptable. And it's going to
What,
hurt
to me or to the world?
No, to you.
Okay.
To you.
I've already,
To
it would be. Not the trophy. I didn't predict them to win the trophy.
No.
I predicted they would play for the trophy.
It's going to be unacceptable to Jerry. Jerry Jones says, I just put $300, $400 million in escrow because I got to vouch for these contracts.
You realize this isn't a one-and-done situation where he's going to disband the team
No,
after this
I'm
year.
just Skip, I'm just
They have a
saying.
window now of 3 or 4 years in
Oh,
which
they got a
they
window?
could win 2 or 3 Super Bowls.
Oh, they got a window, Skip. You know what? I got windows at my house, but there's bars on the inside too. Really? I don't know if it's to keep people out of to keep me in,
I think
but they're
it's to
there.
keep you in.
A little bit of both.
All Jerry knows
You got a
is
little
that he
crack in
got
the
to
window.
watch what happened the last 10 games last year, and I keep telling
my
you,
goodness.
that was not a small sample size. You give him a bona fide number 1 receiver, and all of a sudden, he takes off, and he has top 5 stats for the rest of the year into the playoffs. He leads the playoffs in QBR. I don't know what I'm not waiting. You're waiting to bless this because you don't think he's very good.
Why would I?
Okay, so you keep saying, what are you waiting for? Well, I'm asking you the question. If you were the owner, you'd be waiting like crazy.
No. But I'm not the owner, Jerry. I mean, Jerry just both feet. Oh, he's big time. He's a franchise
okay, but
quarterback.
seriously, what if you were the owner right now? What would you do? There's no way you'd give him $100 million.
I gave him 200.
Stop.
Unrealistic.
But but you can't put me in that situation because I have the mindset because I've been over here. Now maybe Jerry's looking at it differently. Jerry, Skip, when you're an owner, you don't really be looking at things that you think your players. Jerry thinks he has the best player at every position on his team. He thinks he has the best left tackle, left guard, center, right guard. And for the most part, there are a lot of positions he does have the best player.
That's interesting.
Maybe he does not think he has the best safeties in football.
Yeah,
he just does not. Because they're not all that safe.
You love Jeff Heath. All you did was rave. He picked Aaron Rodgers twice.
Was 3 years ago.
That's what I keep telling you. When you talk about he outplayed Aaron Rodgers.
He was a backup. He just happened to be in like as a nickel safety. Come on. He's an overachiever. He works hard, plays hard.
All I'm saying is that your price that you thought you was going to get Dak at is $30 million higher.
It went up, and I am totally good with that. And I believe Jerry Jones has budgeted for that, just the way he's budgeted for Amari. Now, has he budgeted for Byron Jones and Anthony Brown?
Let me ask you a question, Skip. You ain't nobody even brought up Byron Jones' name. He already knows he's out of there after this year. He knows that.
Right now, he's not even listed as a starter at corner on the depth chart, which I don't understand because I think he is with the Woozy. I don't know. It's got Anthony Brown, who's also coming up for a contract.
Yeah, he probably out of there too.
Okay.
If you can only play so many guys.
Well, you're probably right. Okay.
Well,
there's this thing called the draft, and we just keep hitting in the draft.
Somehow he keeps reminding us of that. I think secretly, you always say Jerry's good at this. He loves this stuff.
Yeah, he loves this. Is his Super Bowl.
He's good at this.
Thrives on this.
Well, that seems like the only thing that he's winning, drafting good players and signing them, because he ain't winning the trophy. Now they don't put Super. They don't give you don't get credit for that, Skip.
Yeah.
Oh, we had the best draft since 2010. The Cowboys have had the best draft in the NFL, and they've won exactly what?
No participation.
You know what? Next time, if they wind up playing at the Coliseum against the Rams in the playoffs, maybe the $100 million running back better rise and shine for once because
I got a secret weapon.
He disappeared.
I got a secret weapon.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Home team.
I'm not going.
Home team, go watch that game.
Don't
you already know what's going to happen.
I'm staying far away. I'm never going to let that happen again.
No mercy.
Hey guys, this is Jenny Taft, and I have a quick message for you about Noom. Some people think that all diet and weight loss plans are the same, but that's because they haven't tried Noom. Noom is a new, totally different approach to losing weight and getting healthy that uses psychology and small goals to help you change your habits, making it easy to lose the weight and keep it off for good. Noom combines the power of technology with real human support, offering as little or as much help as you want along the way. And since Noom is an app, it's always with you and easy to use, which makes it super easy to stay on track and reach your goals. It's just as simple to get started. Just go online, answer a few quick questions, and they'll create a personalized program just for you. Noom can help you lose your old way of thinking about food and dieting. So what do you have to lose? Visit Noom.com/podcast, NOOM.com/podcast, and start your 14-day trial today. Change your habits, change your mind, change for good with Noom.
No mercy.
A group of 4 NFL experts recently predicted which players and teams will lead the league in various stats. When asked which team will lead the league in point differential, an anonymous NFL exec picked the Cowboys.
What?
Yeah.
Picked the Cowboys?
It's kind of nice once in a while around here. While one writer chose the Eagles last season, Philly finished tied for 12th in point differential, and Dallas finished close behind them at 14th. So, Shannon, are you surprised that an NFL exec picked the Cowboys for once?
Shocked. For the simple fact, Skip, is that they're more ball control. They're not a team that's one-play strike capabilities, and they do better. When the Cowboys defense can play 30 minutes, less than 30 minutes, let's say 28-29, and the Cowboys can dominate time of possession, that's when you see them, that defense at their absolute best. See, I don't look at them as big strike. capabilities, and I see them winning close ball games, field goal here. And you remember, Skip, that's why people think they're going to take a step back because they were, 7-3 or 8-2 in one-score games, and so that flips all of a sudden you a different way. So I don't see them, Skip, as having that Rams. I think 1 and 2 was New Orleans and Kansas City.
Oh, from last year?
From last year, right.
New Orleans, Kansas City. New Orleans was 9.4 over their opponent every game. They averaged beating their opponent by 9.4, and Kansas City was 9. And then the Rams were 8.9.
But you see big play capability.
Yep.
And that's what they do. And so when I look at the Cowboys, I'm like, okay, they can win some games, but I don't see that 40-24 type ball game, Skip. I see more in line 31-28, 28-24 if they were to win these ball games. So I am surprised. I'm not surprised. I'm shocked that someone thought that they would have a higher point differential. They would lead the league in point differential. I just don't see it because they need to possess the ball, control the ball. Their defense is a little undersized, and they want to put pressure. They don't want that defense to play a whole lot, Skip. And when they're at their absolute best, the Cowboys are at their absolute best.
Yep.
You remember in 2016 when they went 13-3, they led the NFL in time of possession.
They did. Kept
their defense off the field, only had to play about 28 minutes a game. They were fresh and could get after people. The same thing last year when the opposing team kept the Cowboys' defense on the field, that's where they ran into trouble. So I am shocked that someone thought the Cowboys would have that high of a point differential.
And I am pleasantly shocked. I about fell out of my chair when I saw an anonymous exec said Dallas is going to lead the league in point differential, so they're going to outscore their opponents more than my homeboy outscores his, or Drew Brees outscores his, or Sean McVay outscores his? Really?
Skip, I don't like to be the bearer of bad news, because that's why I didn't say this, but that was Stephen Jones.
It was Stephen Jones was the anonymous. I don't think it was.
That was Stephen Jones. It was Stephen Jones.
He might have had a say.
Yeah, Skip.
Look, obviously, you can disqualify me because I'm not objective, because in the grand scheme of things, I love this football team. But I keep telling you, in the little picture, in the 2019 picture, I really love this team. I've told you all offseason, this is a team on the verge. I picked them a while back, 4 months ago, to get to the Super Bowl, to win the NFC, and I'm sticking by that, and I'm very relieved and happy they signed Zeke. I would like to hear them sign Dak here in the next 48 hours. And then the momentum will carry them into game one. They have 3 winnable games to start the year before they go to New Orleans. And I think they could start rolling up a pretty sizable point differential. But I don't have any qualms at all. I don't have any reservations about the offense. I think it's going to be an explosive offense in a different way. It's going to be a ball control, but I think they'll be more like, what did we see against Jacksonville at home last year? They went for 40-something, right? Wasn't it? I can't remember the score, 44-7.
And Jerry's like, this is what Jerry's like, I'm not paying a ton of money for experience as an offensive coordinator. I'm paying for imagination.
Right. And new offensive coordinator, Kellen Moore, former quarterback, former coach's son, and I think they're going to take the wraps off. I think you're going to see much more creativity, much more movement, much more big play capability, much more down the field throwing early in the game, and they do have weapons. My one cause for concern is the defense, because the new guru at ESPN, that Mike Clay. He has them ranked 22nd in interior defensive line. And that's because the same line that just stifled Seattle, the #1 rushing attack in pro football last year, then came out here, thanks to Jenny, and they gave up 273. And they, most of them seemed like up the gut, we'll just blow you off the ball. Do I like Malik Collins and Antoine Wood and Ty Crawford? I do. I've liked them. I think they're pretty good.
Isn't Crawford suspended?
No.
He didn't get suspended for that bar fight?
I don't think yet. Maybe I missed it, but I think he's still available.
Okay.
I think, but
I haven't heard,
he's not even listed as a starter. Those other 2 guys are listed as a starter.
Right.
But the point is, Robert Quinn is suspended.
Right.
And they're going to miss him. I thought he was a big boost, like a big addition.
Right.
But you do have Demarcus Lawrence, and you laugh, but you do have Taco Sunday coming. And he was really good in the preseason. I saw big flashes from him.
You said that's what got you in trouble in 2016 because he was really good.
He was a baby. Is that what you're talking about?
You know what? You got a lot of babies on the Cowboys. They need to grow up.
Growing up.
Yeah.
Yeah. That Kerry Hyder they picked up. Every time I turn on my TV in the preseason, he's flash.
But when you look at the Eagles, Skip, if you go back and look at them when they went to the Super Bowl and ultimately won it, you bring D-Jack. 2 of the last 3 years, he's led the league in yards per catch. They got 2 very good. They got a great tight end, Zach Ertz, and then Dallas Goedert. And they got Alshon. And they got Arcega-Whiteside. They're loaded. Miles Sanders to go with Jordan Howard, because remember when they got to the Super Bowl, won the Super Bowl, that year they had Jay Ajayi they traded for, and they had the Winnebago, LeGarrette Blount. Now they have Jordan Howard. They drafted Miles Sanders. Now they can get back. Darren Sproles came back. Now we don't know what he's going to offer. But this offense, the best offensive line in football. Oh, that can go back and forth. That's
between
fluid.
Dallas and
Philly. Philly. That goes back and forth. But I just believe they're going to be more explosive. And if you look at a defensive front, now you have Malik, and you have Barnett, and you have Graham, and you have Fletch. They're going to be legit.
Really
they
good.
get Darby back. Their safeties are better than yours. Now, maybe you just push at the corner position, but I might be willing to give the Cowboys a slight nod. But I just believe the Eagles defensively are a little better than you guys, or a tad. I believe they'll be a tad more explosive in the passing game than you guys. Now, your running game with Zeke is second to none. It's going to be tough to beat that. But I'm like, Dallas, point differential? I see them as playing, they're going to be in a lot of nip-tuck ball games.
Okay, but yet while Mike Clay said 22nd ranked interior defensive line,
Right.
Todd Archer, who covers the team, concluded in a post yesterday that this defense could be dominant. The 2 linebackers can fly sideline to sideline.
And
They're
they're
really good. And listen, Sean Lee is supposedly healthy, and he will contribute. Don't you like him as a
special
third
team, yeah.
linebacker? Not a special
Well,
team.
yeah, he's a starter. I think he's going to be the strong side linebacker.
I know. Okay, so I'll take that.
Oh, they
I'll take
got
it.
3 guys that can run.
And
They got 3
I
guys
keep
that can
telling you that Michael Gallup will emerge as a legit deep threat. He's going to be a fantasy football star. And you laugh and
taking
you
him?
scoff. I don't play fantasy football. I play real
You
football
do.
with you.
Yeah,
Every
you
day,
play fantasy
basically,
football in
this
your
year.
mind because you got all these, Dak's going to do this. Dak going to throw 50 touchdowns. Zeke going to rush for 2,200 yards.
Randall Cobb will be a slight upgrade over Measly Beasley.
Don't do that,
Just a
Skip.
slight.
Why you do Beasley like that? You love it.
I wish him well up in Buffalo. I wish him well.
Oh, no. You talking about he has a great rapport with Dak. Now the man gone and you already done forgot
never
about
said he had a great
it. Oh, you said he had a great rapport with Dak. Say he had a better rapport. He's better than Dez. He had a budget and rap career. Y'all ruined it by shipping him to Buffalo. What great rappers you know come out of Buffalo?
That's a good point. That's a good, especially white ones, but that's a whole nother issue, right?
Guys, Ezekiel Elliot
Hey.
finally got his money. What do you got?
Amari Cooper, we want to talk about rapport. You're going to have to eat so much crow from Amari Cooper, Dak to Amari. It's going to be the best connection in pro football this year.
Now you know who the Giants got. Old Jackrabbit.
Yeah.
Man, you know what Jackrabbit used to do to your boy.
I know. Different guy.
Oh, Jack.
When's
man.
the last time you were this excited about
Every
the Cowboys?
year.
Honestly,
Like this team.
this feels different. I
No,
was
and by
here
the
last
way-
season.
What?
The guy that you say you could outrun right now, Jason Witten, is back. That's the concluding point because there's still nobody much better on 3rd and 3 than Jason Witten. I know it's just 3rd and 3, but he can
Exactly.
shield people. And
Exactly.
listen, you want to talk about a blocker, and I know who cares about a tight end blocker, but he just might put that offensive line over the top above the Eagles because he can flat out road grade.
Skip, is everybody forgetting what they saw in 2017? And now he misses a year and comes back. The one thing I can tell you about speed, once it starts to go, it's not coming back.
He never was fast to begin
Exactly.
with.
He plays a position. He plays a skill position. Quarterbacks are the only one that can lose speed and still maintain. What? I mean, come on. Skip.
I'm going to predict right here, right now, there are going to be a whole bunch of 3rd and 3s, 3rd and 4s, 3rd and 5s that will get converted by Jason Witten
Skip.
by 82. And all he'll do is just run a little curl, and he'll shield off some linebacker and catch it. And he will catch it.
And everybody, he's great. He's great catching the ball in the crowd. You know why? Because he can't run fast. He's always in a crowd. I was never in a crowd because I can run. Yes.
Not what the Cowboys did.
That is okay.
They had you at 4.8. They timed you at Savannah State.
Okay.
Jon Gruden told me I got him in 4.8.
Well, go check the tape in 2000 and again in 98.
It's all about checking the tape.
Some people can run
He's
fast.
never going to let you live that down, unfortunately. That number is
We
here to
playing
stay.
pads, right?
Oh, that's true.
Guys, good news that Zeke finally got his money, but should he be happy with the deal? Greg Jennings joins us with his answer.
No mercy.
It's time to celebrate. Football is finally back, and DraftKings, the leader in one-day fantasy football, has huge Week 1 contests. The first one starts this Thursday night when Chicago and Green Bay kick off the season in a single-game showdown with $2.5 million in total prizes up for grabs. Draft your single-game showdown lineup and feel the sweat like never before. It's simple. Just draft your lineup, stay under the salary cap, and see how your team stacks up against the competition. Plus, new users who sign up today on DraftKings using code UNDISPUTED will receive a free shot at the $1 million top prize. Get in on the season opener action. Download the DraftKings app now and use code UNDISPUTED. For a limited time, both new and existing users can get a deposit bonus up to $500. And new users, don't miss this extra special Week 1 bonus. Enter my code UNDISPUTED to get a free shot at $1 million with your first deposit. That's code UNDISPUTED only at DraftKings. Make it rain. Minimum $5 deposit required. Deposit bonus requires a 25 times playthrough. Eligibility restrictions apply. See DraftKings.com for details.
No mercy.
Well, Ezekiel Elliott's holdout is over. Zeke and the Cowboys agreed on a 6-year, $90 million extension with $50 million guaranteed. Overall, Zeke's contract is now 8 years and $103 million, which makes him the highest-paid running back in the league. Zeke is expected to be at practice today and to play this Sunday against the Giants. We are now joined by Fox Sports NFL analyst Greg Jennings. Greg, you've been a part of this with us over the last month. How happy should Zeke be with this new deal?
He should be all smiles. As our counterpart Skip here should be all
Seriously.
smiles.
Oh, he's been on a 10.
Smile.
This is exactly what he wanted. He wanted to reset the running back market. He wanted to be the highest paid running back on the market. He got that. In addition to that, he didn't have the reps in training camp that everyone else had.
That's a good point.
So
I
he's
agree.
going to be even fresh. And when everyone wants to talk about how important training camp is, and it is very important to get the plays and the study time more than even on the field. But when you're a running back with the wear and tear that is put on your body, him rushing or having at least 300 attempts in his first year and his third year, like, you don't need all of those reps. And so we're going to see Tony Pollard anyway, but Ezekiel Elliott has won this outright. The Dallas Cowboys and Jerry Jones said, we're not gonna let these guys reset the market. We don't want to be the market setters. Well, what happened? They became the market setters. Why? Because they understand the importance of a guy like Ezekiel Elliott, and they understand even greater what they're trying to accomplish as a football team and an organization, which is a Lombardi trophy.
He should be very ecstatic because he got everything that he wanted. He wanted the annual salary of about $15 million. He got that. He wanted the top Todd Gurley's guarantee. He topped that. He wanted to be first running back with a $100 million contract. He got that. Skip, he got everything that he wanted. Plus, he only had $13 million in guarantees. 13 million guaranteed over the next 2 years. Now he's got 50 over the next 3. He won all the way around. Plus, Skip, Zeke's a football player. He loves playing the game. He loves being around those guys. He understands that they have something special brewing inside that locker room, and he wants to be a part of it. Look, Jerry said all this and all that, but at the end of the day, Jerry realized, I can't be worried about, everybody wanting me to suppress the running back market. I got to do what's in the best interest of my football team.
Exactly.
Y'all worry about y'all players. I'm going to worry about my locker room. I got the money. He ringing that bell. I guess he had another acquisition. He bought some energy company that looks like Skip Bayless. So he go back to have some more money. More, but Jerry gonna own the energy company that supplies the electricity to his stadium. So Jerry gonna be making out all the way around, Skip. But Zeke should be very happy. Skip, he got his money. He's gonna be fresh because James Slater, we're gonna talk about this, but he's not gonna be the normal Zeke because he's not gonna play 55, 60 plays. So you might, 30, 40, and build up. And then come late in the season where everybody else is starting to wear down, Zeke has fewer carries on his body. He's going to get ready to take off, but just not against the Eagles.
So the truth is, I only know one person who won in this deal, and that's me. I'm really happy. Yeah, I told Greg Jennings before we started today, I said, he experienced what I'm feeling right now just once in his life the day he won the Super Bowl. I just won the Super Bowl.
That's the level you're at right now?
Oh, you won the off-season Super Bowl. Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
I'm just too happy to pick a side here, but I'm trying to, the show must go on, so I must tell the truth. And I hate to use war analogies, but this is the classic cliche of somebody won the battle, but somebody else won the war.
Right.
Because Jerry won the war. Zeke won the battle. And it was hard fought, man. I think, as Ian Rappaport reported yesterday, I think nerves were frayed. What would you say? It was 42 days it took to get this
42.
done? And I even think nerves were frayed last night because it went into the night, through the night. I guess somebody had to sleep on it. Maybe Zeke had to sleep on it and wake up and say, okay, I'll take this. And you're right. He has every reason to walk into that locker room, I'm sure he already has this morning, with head held high and chest out. I'm sure he's getting congratulations all around. There might even be some cigars being passed out in there, right?
Hey, bro, let me get some of that new money, bro. You know you walking inside that new contract. Hey, bro, let your boy get some of that new money.
Hey, and I'm with all that because he reset the market. But he didn't reset the market for players. He just reset it for running backs.
Yeah.
And the truth is, the God's truth is, I still feel a little sorry for him because he's a great football player.
Yes.
To me, he's the best running back in football. And he deserved way more than he got. I know relative to what Todd Gurley got, you say, oh, okay. He got a little more here, a little more here, a little more there.
Yes.
Good. Way to go. And when the smoke clears, when Dak gets paid, which I believe he will in the next couple of days, and when Amari Cooper gets paid, which will happen sometime during the football season because he's still under contract. He's making almost $14 million this year. Did you ever make $14 million?
No, not at all.
All right.
A year?
Well,
I didn't make that for a career.
That sounds like good money, right?
That's a career. That's a career.
Okay, so Amari's not sweating it, but he's going to get his money because Michael Thomas got his money, and Odell got his money, and AB got his money, and Amari will get more money than Zeke got. So when the smoke clears, Ezekiel Elliott by midseason will be the 4th highest paid Dallas Cowboy. Should he be ecstatic about that? I don't know. It kind of hurts me to even say those words.
Skip, it happens.
Yeah, but he's not looking at it like that.
Okay, well, I hope he's not. But
no, he's not. He's looking at I'm the highest paid running back.
Exactly.
I'm the highest paid. Look, Skip, I was a tight end, and I got, I made big money at sign, and I'm looking like, dude, I'm way better than that dude. That dude doubled me.
Okay.
But I understood I'm a tight end. He a wide receiver, or he's a pass rusher. That just goes with the territory. But I'm happy for my little bit of my little piece of money.
You did okay.
Yeah, I did all right.
You saved every last dollar. Right?
The eagle was screaming. I was holding that dollar so tight, Jay. I ain't let that money go.
Wow.
Oh, okay.
What's the eagle?
The eagle on the back.
Oh, on the back.
Yeah, I hold him tight. He wasn't going nowhere.
Choking it.
Yeah, I had to, Skip. I didn't make no big money like Greg did.
I told you Jerry was going to give him some creative caveat to close the deal, and so now Zeke can say, I'm the first Dallas Cowboy to ever have a $100 million contract because the grand total of it is 103 if you take the 2 years plus the 6 years.
Correct.
And yet, I don't know why, but Demarcus Lawrence, I'm pretty sure he got 5 years, 105. So I'm not sure about that, but if Zeke wants to claim that and
Tony Romo got a $100 million contract, Skip.
Yeah, I don't really get where they're getting that that's the first Dallas Cowboy.
Interesting
I don't
point.
know, but good. Let him have it. Okay, but back to Demarcus Lawrence. Just recently, he really got his money because he got $65 million guaranteed. Zeke just got 50 to 65. Really? His average, Demarcus Lawrence makes 21 a year to Zeke's, what, 15-ish?
Yeah.
Okay, so that's not fair to me because, okay, I'm just a fan over here, but I know a little bit about it. And if you hold gun to my head right now and say, okay, you can have one or the other this year, I'm taking Zeke over Demarcus Lawrence any Sunday, Thursday, name a day. Because he's just better. He's more valuable to my team than Demarcus Lawrence. So that's not fair, that kind of money. But the parameters say it's fair.
Well, how
right?
about you got to get it up at the CBA?
Okay.
You got to get the fifth-year option out of the CBA. You got to get the tags out of the CBA.
But it's more the mindset. It's the running back got devalued. I'm not sure exactly why.
For whatever reason, Skip, when the free agency first went in,
Yep.
they structured it. Well, quarterbacks can get this, and for the franchise and transition, and linemen can get this and this and that.
Exactly.
And so you were stuck here. This is where you are, Skip. No matter how good you are. So if we already here, Skip, and you can't get anywhere, it's like sometimes if you're born in the system, like in India, you have a caste system.
All right.
You're born in there, you probably go
got
back. Running back, you're in there, Skip. That's what you got.
That young man is the exception to this rule, and it is a
Yes.
rule that they make only X.
Yes.
Right.
With a short shelf life to make
Now,
X.
if you told me he was the Carson Wentz of running backs and he kept
Oh, my
playing
goodness.
fewer and fewer games, well, he's been.
Skip,
Poor kid,
stop it.
I'm knocking on
walk
wood.
into it, they got
okay,
nothing to
but
do
he's
with it.
always getting hurt. And there's always something wrong with him. Even in college, he got hurt. If you told me Zeke had been just hurt throughout college, he broke his hand one year in 2014 and had to get it reset again, but it didn't stop him from playing football. And then his rookie year in preseason, he had a hamstring issue, but it didn't. He played game one, and now he's played every game since.
Now, see, I was going to let you have it until you started talking about the Carson Wentz and going on.
Now, are you a
But
Wentz
So close.
I am. But you said that Ezekiel Elliott won the battle and Jerry Jones won the war. Well, the war, we don't know who's going to win the war yet because the war isn't over until we see who wins the Lombardi Trophy. That is the ultimate goal. That is the finish line.
Okay,
so
but just
if they
the
win,
contractual war, they have him under contract for the next 8 years.
the contractual war,
8 years.
absolutely.
Okay, that's game over, Jerry.
Well, Skip, everybody had to look, in order for Zeke to get what he wanted, he had to go this many years because it had to be cap friendly for Jerry. And for Jerry to says, okay, Zeke, this is what you want, this is what I need. You had to be give and take. See, in a situation, I look at it like this. Look at contracts like nuclear warfare. There are no winners, only survivors. Both survived, Skip, because you didn't want Zeke to feel like he got had, and you didn't want Jerry to feel like he got had.
No.
So
You
now,
don't, and I don't think either party feels that way.
yeah, so Jerry's like, this I did all right.
Well, listen, Todd Gurley's extension was for 4 years.
Right.
Zeke's is for 6
Right.
years. Well, that's advantage Jerry.
Right.
100%.
But
100%.
But this is what we know about these extensions. When you start getting 5 and 6 years, that's when the cap numbers, year 4, 5, and 6, is when the cap number starts getting more than the team can stomach. Either they're going to redo the deal or they're going to get you up out of there. Zeke knows he'll 24, 25, 26. 27, Jerry's going to look at it like, okay, I'm going to see what your numbers look like. This is a 3-year deal. This is what this is. This is not no 8-year, about your 8 years. What 32-year-old running back Skip gonna be making that $19 million at the end of it? None, zero.
If his production continues to increase or stay consistent, then it'll end up being like a 4-year, maybe get to the 5th year.
Right.
But those last 3, no, sir.
Okay, and I hate to plant this negative seed, but I'm pretty sure Zeke's best friend on the team is the quarterback.
Yeah.
And I think in the next 48 hours, the quarterback's going to get around $112 million guaranteed dollars. That means he will make in guarantees more than twice as much than his best friend, the running back.
Right.
And the running back some night is going to go home and sit back and think, wait a second. Wait a second.
Right? Yeah.
He makes more than twice as much guaranteed? Well, I'm not. You think Zeke's better than Dak,
Yeah, I
right?
do.
Okay.
But he doesn't play a position
Exactly.
that the NFL deems that's more valuable than Dak's.
Look, we all sit back and look like, what in the world? I mean, we all do it. Receivers do it when it comes to quarterbacks. Offensive linemen do it when it comes to pass rushers. Like everyone, there's someone.
Somebody got to block that. Somebody got to block D-Law. So if D-Law can make $21 million, what should the guy that got to block him on a regular basis? What should he be making? That's how guys look at it, Skip.
Where would Aaron Rodgers have been without this man? Right?
See, you try to.
Yeah.
You see, you try
No,
to.
well, seriously. Did you
there-
not make a great play on the game-breaking play in the Super Bowl?
It was
a
good.
phenomenal play.
It was a phenomenal play on both parts. It was
All
a nice
across the
throw,
board.
but it
But you
was a
want to
really
give Greg
nice
most
catch.
of the credit, huh?
Well, I
Takes
give it.
2.
I appreciate it, Skip.
Okay,
Yeah.
well,
I
come
will
on.
never take all the credit, but
Greg,
I appreciate
Greg,
it.
don't fall into it because I
So
know.
what did you make of Aaron Rodgers' salary? Like 1/100th, or I don't know.
Hey, that's just the way it falls.
That's it.
Is
I
there
didn't
a
play
world
quarterback.
where it will get a little bit better?
No.
It's never going to change.
No.
It's just how it is.
Well, because there are very few. There are like 2 or 3 I can count on one hand of that guy.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
But
No,
there's
seriously.
one quarterback on the field. There's not 2 quarterbacks that are ever going to be on your
Fair.
depth chart that can say we should pay him top dollar. No, there will never be 2 quarterbacks on the same roster that you say
Except
that.
Nick Foles.
But receivers, running backs,
Am I right?
I mean,
Nick Foles.
He's the
Nick
exception.
Foles. Nick Foles.
He's
is
not on the
big
same roster
poster
anymore.
when he
Well, we're going to see what Nick Foles is going to do in Jacksonville.
Yes, we are going to see.
We will
Because I think he's going to
definitely
be
see.
really good.
Okay.
I'm with you, Skip. This
all right, Greg, I need you to stick around for this next one because we're actually talking about your old quarterback. Aaron Rodgers' ability to audible be an issue again this season. So many layers to this story. Continue, and we'll go there next.
No mercy.
Well, back in June, Packers head coach Matt LaFleur said he and Aaron Rodgers would have to work through the, quote, audible thing. LaFleur admitted that his system did not typically give quarterbacks much freedom at the line of scrimmage. And earlier this week, LaFleur said Rodgers has the green light to change plays whenever he wants. But now, LaFleur's answering more questions on the topic than he'd like. Take a listen.
At the combine, you mentioned that audibles weren't a big part of
You guys just will not stop with this audible thing. It's unbelievable. What do you guys want me to say? It's comical to me, but like I said, I feel good with what we've got in our plan.
All right, Greg, how about that? Do you think that this audible thing is comical?
No, this is real. This is the reality that Matt LaFleur was walking into. I don't care what offensive system you were bringing in. It was going to be changeable. It was going to be audible friendly because of that guy, because of Aaron Rodgers. When you look at the situation that he just got out of, the partnership, the marriage, if you will, with Coach McCarthy, it wasn't an audible friendly offensive system. So when you look at that, he didn't have the leverage or the leeway to just go out and do what he pleased. Mike McCarthy wanted to have control because he dealt with a guy like Brett Favre. And he didn't want to give Aaron that type of liberty and freedom. And so when you walk into a situation and I'm Matt LaFleur and I have an Aaron Rodgers, yes, I'm going to have to bend and let him do what he does because this is what will allow us to be the best on the football field, allowing Aaron Rodgers to run our offense regardless or despite how I think my offense should be run. And at the end of the day, it will work out not only for Aaron Rodgers, but it will benefit even Matt LaFleur because it will alleviate some of the pressure he has as a head coach and a play caller. So, yes, this is not comical. This was the reality, and I believe he knew it walking in.
And by the way, point of order, reportedly, Aaron changed X%, like half the plays that Mike
30-40%
Oh, yeah.
Yes.
last year.
Yes. So it's something that he does. And let me add this. When you walk up, and rightfully so, he does it. Because when you walk up to the offensive line of scrimmage and you see the defense and you have a play that's just been called, and you're a quarterback like Aaron Rodgers or Peyton Manning or Drew Brees or Tom Brady, and you see that it is not the best play for our team right now, you should be given that liberty to change those plays.
Yes.
How often did Aaron audible in your years with him?
He didn't audible a ton. He audibled quite a bit, but he always had a secondary play. And that's what Mike started kind of veering into, allowing him to have a secondary play to get us into, or what we would call
Check with me.
a check with me. A check with me.
Okay.
And you give quarterbacks of that kind of leeway.
Did you ever have an option route just for you where you could choose whether you go inside or outside and Aaron's got to go with you?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely. And it was something that had to be practiced based on the look of the defense, the leverage of the defender. So he knew it really wasn't an option any longer. Like if he was outside leverage, he knew I was going to hook it up.
All right.
Different things like that.
Okay.
It's not comical. You made this an issue. When you go and you're the head coach of a team that has a quarterback that's won 2 MVPs, he's won a Super Bowl MVP, and you say, we got to work through this audible thing. That's going to be a big deal.
You brought this on yourself.
Yes. You should have just kept your mouth closed. It's like, whatever my offense is, Aaron and I will work through it. Because Aaron then comes up and says, well, I don't think you want me to turn 11 years off. Now, this offense originated from Mike and Kyle Shanahan because Sean McVay started under them.
That's true.
Now, I don't know where the offshoot of where they came, but that offense was audible friendly because John was audible. And we had check with me because I want my quarterback because his job is to get me from a bad play to a good play, a good play to a great play. And if you send the play in and Jon looks at that defense and like, this is not a good play for that defense, he better audible it.
Yes.
Because his job is to put us in the best situation at least 60 times a game or for how many offensive plays he'll skip. It's as simple as that. Now, look, I have the utmost confidence in my coaches calling the plays, but you're not out there. When the coach would ask me, he said, well, Shannon, why'd you run the route like that? Because when you drew it up on the board, that X or O didn't move.
And when they set that defense up in scout team, that ain't what they ran.
Exactly.
Okay. What's comical to me is that Matt LaFleur, even before he's coached or head coached his first ever NFL game, just cracked right before your very eyes. The media got to him.
Interesting.
How could you let the media get to you when this has been the issue facing the football team? Because in his early remarks, right after he got the job about audibles, maybe a little naively, he said, in this offense, we don't have audibles. We don't have many. He said, we don't have many audibles. He said, we do have some, what he calls can plays. You can go to this or can go to that.
Right.
But in general, he likes the play run that he calls. Maybe there's some slight variations, as you say, depending on what you see across the ball. But again, he wants to be in charge. He is only 4 years older than Aaron Rodgers. And I don't know this for a fact, but I will bet you Aaron thinks that Aaron knows more football than Matt LaFleur knows about football. Just IQ, football IQ. Aaron knows a lot about football.
Absolutely.
You know this. And obviously, Aaron has far more ability as a quarterback than Matt LaFleur ever dreamed of having. So there's not huge respect. It's not like John Elway is your coach, and you're saying, well, okay, he does get this.
Right.
You know, he really knows what it feels
Correct.
like, right?
Yes.
Okay? So to me, Aaron's got to be chuckling over this because he's saying, this guy's already cracking under the media pressure. You can't do that.
Skip, there are certain plays that you come up like, there was a big, we called it a bear defense. Buddy Ryan made it famous. Skip, you don't want to be running certain plays. We would come up to that defense. We see that defense. We already knew, Skip. Blue was our check. Blue Detroit.
They are all coming.
Yes! And you don't want to be. And so why would you run the play that was called into that defense when you going to get your quarterback hitting the back of his head or you're going to get the running back smashed as soon as he hands the ball off?
Yep.
Why would you not let your quarterback audible out of that?
And that is where I feel like quarterbacks like Aaron Rodgers and these top-tier quarterbacks, you have to give them this liberty because in Matt LaFleur's defense, he may have a play design that can beat and be effective against any coverage. But if it's not the first and second option where that quarterback can get rid of that ball right away or the running back will have a greater chance of breaking a run, then I'm going to give him an option of a play that gives them that ability, that my first and second option is going to be there right away. I don't want to hold on to the ball. That's not what Aaron Rodgers is doing. He's not trying to hold on to the ball. I want to be effective right away come pre-snap. When I see the defense set up, I know what I got, and if I don't have it with this play, I'm going to get to a play that gives it to me.
And the thing is, Skip, but when we were on the road, we didn't have a whole lot of audibles because crowd noise comes into the play.
Yep.
And you don't want to be up there, Josh. Well, did he change? Is he audibling or what is he doing? Is he going through his normal cadence? Because you can't, some of these stadiums, you couldn't hear in Kansas City.
Yep.
So we were going, whatever we got called, we were going with it. But if we did audible, we were audibling to the play.
Yep.
It wasn't no either or. We knew what the play we were audibling because we had practiced it all week. And that's what Mike said, okay, look, guys, if Jon checks out, we're going to this play. So there's no second guess. But sometimes there might be this play or that play or another play. But for the most part, guys like Peyton Manning, he always ran a check with me package. That's why he became who he was, Skip.
True.
Peyton Manning would have never been who he was had he not had that ability. And so those guys, you give them the leeway. And even, Skip, even if he checks out of a play and it goes for naught, you said, okay, I trust him.
You deal with it.
I believe the play that we had on would have gone for even less than that.
Yeah.
You trust guys like Aaron Rodgers, and you don't handicap them because what makes them unique is their ability to get you out of harm's way with what they see.
Matt LaFleur is pretty full of himself already. I think he thinks he's the guru of this offense.
Hasn't even started.
All he had to do was like a good lawyer, ask and answered.
So now there are 3 NFL storylines I cannot wait to watch detonate because we got Odell versus Freddie Kitchens. We got AB versus Jon Gruden.
Oh, gosh.
And now we got Aaron Rodgers versus Matt LaFleur. Those are 3 hair trigger, like it's just about
This,
to go.
in my opinion, is the lightest of all of them.
Yeah.
Think so?
I do.
But we get our first answer on Friday with this one. They play tomorrow night.
Tomorrow night,
Because you're dealing with someone who is in control of your offense. You're dealing with the quarterback.
That's true.
The other
Yeah,
two,
I know.
you're not dealing with the quarterback.
No.
They dependent. Oh, Freddie K got his work cut out for him. Oh, Freddie K.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's
got his
just
work
the
cut out for him.
moment it doesn't go well for the Packers, let's say tomorrow night, then I think things will start to shift.
Well, if they'll block Khalil Mack, it's not going to go well for
That's
them.
what I mean.
Hey, they got to block more than Khalil Mack.
A lot more that goes into it, and he better get used to the media attention. Greg, good stuff. Always thanks for being here. Now that the deal is done, what should we expect on the field from Zeke
Good
this
question.
Sunday? He's coming back.
No mercy.
Now, we know this. Zeke will be hungry to get back in the action after ending his holdout earlier this morning. Zeke and the Cowboys agreed on a 6-year, $90 million extension with $50 million guaranteed. Overall, Zeke's contract is now 8 years and $103 million, which makes him the highest paid running back in the league. Zeke is expected to be at practice today and to get 20 to 25 reps against the Giants on Sunday.
20 to 25.
There you
A
go.
lot
We're
of
going to be
reps.
seeing the guy.
Actually,
Shannon, what do you expect from Zeke on Sunday?
I don't expect vintage Zeke, Skip, for the simple fact he's not going to get his normal workload. Normally, he'd be in on 80, 90% of the snaps. 20, 25 plays. When you're looking at that, it's 60, 65 plays on average. It's about 65 plays a game. So he's not going to be that. And I'm glad the Cowboys are taking this approach, Skip. And I've told people this all the time. I said, look, the only way, and I ran myself into oblivion. But, Skip, you get in shape for a particular sport by doing that sport.
I agree.
As a basketball player, you get in shape for basketball by playing basketball.
You do.
For football, you get in shape by playing football, by carrying the football, having shoulder pads and helmets on, doing that. That's how you get in football shape. Now, I have no doubt that Zeke has been running, that he's been eating properly, and he's good condition. But he's not in football condition. They're two different things. And the thing that you worry about, Skip, is that when you put a heavy workload on a guy that's not in the football conditioning that he needs to be in, you have to worry about calf strains, hamstring, groin, quads, things of that nature. And so I'm glad they're going to gradually bring him back. 20, 25 plays, maybe 35, 40.
Wait a second. If he carries 25 times, that's not
No.
gradual.
Plays.
Yeah.
They're not gonna give it to him every time he's in the game. A lot of that's gonna be some play fakes
Okay,
too,
all right,
Skip.
all right.
No. Okay. He's not getting 20, 25 carries, Skip. You asking all. Look, that's why you love Tony Pollard. Zach Martin said he's a damn good back.
He did say that.
Jerry, like, oh, we love Tony. And I can see a scenario where them both in the backfield at the same time.
Jerry said that.
So,
And I think we will see that.
I just think the thing, 20, 25 plays, you give them a couple of runs, you throw it to them a couple of times, you run a couple of fakes off them because they're going to be biting because they know they're going to try to, maybe establish Zeke early. But I like this approach, Skip. But you're not going to see a virtuoso Zeke. But that's coming. That's down the road. It won't take him long. He get a game. He get about 2 games up on his belt. By that 4th game, somebody gonna have to deal with this young man now.
To me, they don't call him Zeke the Freak for nothing. I'm not going to be surprised if he gets 20 to 25 carries in this game. I think it could be right 'em Cowboy. And it depends on what they see today, tomorrow, Friday.
Fair.
And it depends how the game goes early.
Oh, yeah.
And how he looks and how he reacts to his first few carries. Is he huffing and puffing, or does he seem to just, fit
Well,
right
he's going to be
into the
huffing and
flow?
puffing, Skip, because first of all, he's anxious to be back. The adrenaline's going to be pumping, and he hadn't been in that type of environment. The adrenaline's going to be going. He has on helmet, shoulder pads, and an actual game situation. So it's different than practice, Skip. Practice is one thing, and they're like, okay, yeah, we had a great day of practice. Practice ain't even close to the game.
But I did love what Greg Jennings pointed out. You want to talk about fresh. You want to talk about protected through training camp, because to me, even a running back's legs take some pounding in training camp because you do go pretty full speed in some of those drills.
Well, you have to do 9 on 7. You have to do goal line. You have to do that with the
goal line or
ones.
short yardage.
Yeah.
You bang up a little
Yeah.
bit. You hit it up
Nut
in
him up.
there.
Yeah.
Yeah. So to me, he'll be 100% fresh, and it's not like he's a rookie. He's done this for almost all of 3 years, and
He's in his 4th year now.
yeah. So 4th year. I just have a feeling they're going to see how it goes and let him go as far as he can go. But as Todd Archer, who covers the Cowboys, also wrote today, he said they have come to adore, that's the word he used, adore Tony Pollard. They adore him, and that means Jerry down to Kellen Moore, and obviously Jason Garrett. So do I think he will get his share of the carries? I do. Could he get his 10 or so carries? I do see that. Will maybe Tony Pollard catch 5 balls? He just might. I don't know how many Zeke will catch. Listen, Zeke's going to want to rise and shine against that guy on the other sideline. Saquon will be there.
Skip, the thing
right?
that when I say you have to guard against muscle injury, because the things that causes muscles to go is fatigue.
Yep.
Or you have an imbalance. I don't believe Zeke is out of balance or anything because they hadn't been taking that pounding. But fatigue muscles will give on you. And you don't want to, Skip, can you imagine? Your guy holds out 42 days. You give him the biggest contract for a running back in NFL history, and the first game in, he got a groin or he got a hamstring or a quad, and he's down for.
Knocking on.
Yeah, knock away.
Thank you.
I don't want
Skip,
that either.
Yeah.
After all this?
This is why you put him on a pitch count. And I know it's hard because the tendency that you have is this is what they did with LeBron. It's like, we're going to play LeBron 30 to 32 minutes. That's all well and good if you're losing big or you're winning big. But what happens, Skip, you get fourth quarter and you're down or you're up by 1.
Yep.
Now all of a sudden that 32 minutes go to 36, 38. Okay, you say you're going to play Zeke 20, 25 plays. You need to hold to that even if it's late in the ball game because you don't want to lose him. Don't even worry. One game, Skip, one game is not. I understand that it's different. Football games are weighted different than baseball and basketball, Skip, because it's 1 to 5, basketball to football, 1 to 10, football to baseball. Okay, we get that. But if you mess around and make this young man tweak something, because Skip, he's not in football shape. I don't care what anybody tells you. He's in shape to, like, if you want to do a conditioning test, there's no question in my mind Zeke would pass it. But all of a sudden, Skip, you get that adrenaline pumping, you put a ball up on his arm and shoulder pads and helmets, it's a different ball game, and you need to be careful with it.
Does he have a history of tweaking? Some guys just do. Yeah. Some guys are always nicked.
Skip, you remember in the preseason? His rookie year, tweaked his hamstring.
Okay, but did he play game 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7? Yes.
But let me ask you a question. That was in the preseason. You tweaked this game, first game of the regular season. See, then they sat him down in the preseason. It's like, okay, you good.
No, they didn't, because remember game 3 at Seattle?
No. I'm saying when he tweaked his hamstring in the preseason.
Yes.
He didn't play any more.
I'm talking about preseason game 3.
Yeah.
Remember, that's the game where he just caught my eye because he's up there in Seattle like headhunting.
Skip, don't do it. I know you want to see Zeke. I know you want him to sit.
Just for the record, Emmitt Smith missed the first 2 games, 1993, and when he came back in game number 3, they had lost the first 2, obviously. Right. He carried it 8 times for 45 yards and caught 1 ball for 3 yards. Right. And the immortal Derek Lassick, I like Derek Lassick, but again, he couldn't really fill the bill in the first 2 games, but he carried 14 more times in game 3 for 60 yards and scored a couple of touchdowns. And then slowly but surely, Emmitt goes 71 yards, 104, 92, and then 237 at Philly. And he was off to the races, and he won the rushing title in 14 games instead of 16.
But you saw they build.
Yeah, they built a little bit.
And but Skip, guys are different. Guys, you remember ED said he held out and came back and carried the ball 31 times for like $140. But guys are different. Skip, we hit back then. I think a lot of, and I don't know, they need to do some data. But I think some of these injuries, Skip, is that they go 0 from 100.
Yep.
You don't do anything, and then all of a sudden you get in the game, and then you do everything. Something's got to give.
Maybe, but in this case,
let it be slow. Why you won't want him to gradually build, Skip?
It's Saquon. I just think he'll say, give me the,
But you got Dak, so you don't need to worry about Zeke. Hey, Zeke, we're going to let you have about 10, 11 carries. We got old Dak. We just paid them $150 million, so we good. You might have to sit there one out. Yeah. We let Dak take this thing over.
You're the one who keeps telling me Zeke is way more valuable than Dak.
He is.
Maybe they got to do this, right?
No, okay.
Here we go.
So you want to do that 30 times in game 1?
Not 30, but I could see 20 to 25 carries. I just could.
The man's been away 42 days.
There's one big difference between Emmitt Smith and Ezekiel Elliott. Zeke is much more of a workout warrior than Emmitt ever was. Emmitt will not like me saying that, but that's the truth. Zeke, I think, does work hard in the weight room. How hard can you work in Cabo? I don't know, but I bet you he's in decent
I mean,
shape.
he did some of those beach workouts, but they don't pay.
It's game shape.
Yeah,
right?
but
like,
yeah,
it's nothing like
you got to have the
play
football in your hands. Because I remember, and I had done preseason. I played in the preseason game, and we practiced. But Skip, I was huffing and puffing in game one because you go 2 minutes, you go hurry up right before the end of the half, or third down, you want to pick up the tempo.
Marshall Faulk went down there and tried to put him through some sort of game conditions. I don't know what it was, but maybe it helped a little
some
bit.
footage of this.
Mike was like, they throw me like 3 passes in the game, and I asked to come out. Mike was like, what's wrong? You're not in shape. I was like, Mike, you don't throw me 3 passes in practice. You throw me 1 pass in practice, and then I walk back.
You were gassed? You asked out?
Man, Skip.
A Hall of Famer asking out of a game?
No, I asked for a blow.
Mike.
Hold on. What did they say? If you get tired, raise your hand.
Take me out.
Okay, I raised my hand, and then you talk about what's going on. You told me if I get tired, you raise my hand.
You should start doing it on this show.
What?
Because I know
I
just wear you out. You can just wave out.
I go to bed early.
Wave out. Jenny can take over.
I go to bed at 9 o'clock.
Yeah, okay.
Be rested.
Really?
Yeah, 9 o'clock every night.
Take me out.
You're not huffing and puffing today? Okay.
Tonka go to bed about 6:45. I put him in his room, and then we lights out for me at 9.
Who is that?
Tonka, the dog.
Oh, I thought you said Taco.
Tonka.
I thought you'd rename Tonka.
No.
Taco.
No, I don't think that's
LeBron.
happening. No tacos. We talk about tacos enough. But you probably didn't go to bed too early last night because you had to see the last episode of Hard Knocks.
Good thing for that.
What did we learn about Jon Gruden this season? I thought it was very interesting. Telling. We're going to talk about it next.
No mercy.
Last night was the Hard Knocks season finale, and while it included players making or missing the final cut, it mainly focused on Antonio Brown and Jon Gruden. AB continued to prepare for the season while getting used to his new helmet. Gruden revealed he had been practicing counting down by 3 for years now. I'm glad he admitted that. And he also had some fun quizzing his young running backs during a film session. Check it out.
Danny who?
Woodhead.
Danny Woodhead. All right. What college does Woodhead come out of, Josh Jacobs? God, everybody knows where Woodhead is from. Where's he from, Jalen? Jesus, Butterbean. Where's he from, DeAndre? He's from Chadron State, don't you know?
Oh, my gosh. I would not have done well with Gruden. Quizzing me in those situations.
I know somebody who'd been out of there.
Jeez, Shannon, what was your final takeaway from this season? I can't imagine you in that room, just for the record.
No, the first thing, Skip, is that this is the part that you really hate because somebody's dreams has ended. They're never going to play. They're never going to put on the shoulder pad and helmets again.
Yeah.
Their dreams of playing in the National Football League ended with that cut. Now, some will get fortunate enough and get picked up and play and get on someone's practice squad. But, Skip, overall, I thought Hard Knocks was obviously the head coach must be a part of it because, hey, obviously he's a big integral part of the team. But I didn't know he was going to try and steal the whole show.
He did, yep.
For me, what the hell, whether or not they know what Danny Woodhead, if you want to make a point, say, now this is the way you, on a blitzing person, you see what he does? He closes the distance. Yeah. That's not what he did.
No.
You try to embarrass the guys because they don't know where he's from. How's they going who is Danny Woodhead? If you say, where's Tony Dorsett or where's Marcus Allen or Emmitt Smith from? Okay, but you're talking about a guy that was probably an undrafted free agent or something and from some small Division II, Division III school.
Chadron State,
I looked
Nebraska.
it up.
Yeah, I know what it is just because I knew when I was a kid some other guys came from
Right.
But I did not remember that Danny Woodhead went there.
Right.
Fair.
Skip, if you want to make a point, it says, look how small this man is. He's about 5'8", probably about 180 pounds.
Yep.
And you watch the way he takes on a blitzing linebacker.
Okay.
What you must do is like he does. He closes the distance. He gives him a one-way go, and he hits him squared out. That's the way we want to take on blitzers. We don't pick a side. We take him straight down the middle. Okay, Skip, make that point. But you're going to say, where is he from? You don't know where Danny. I don't even know who Danny Woodhead is, let alone where he's from. Okay, if I told you where, is that going to increase my chances of making this team? Because if I need to know where the opposing team that we're playing, if I need to know every college that the defensive, I guarantee you I know it. But that's unnecessary. He stole the Hard Knocks, this edition, became about Jon Gruden.
Yep.
And man, time out for you, John. totally unnecessary, and I was skeptical to begin with. I'm even more so now.
I covered Jon Gruden's last team in Oakland, and he was nothing like this. No coach has ever played harder to the cameras than this coach has done on Hard Knocks, because he did try to not just steal it, he tried to own the show. And he became increasingly negative, sarcastic, belittling of all players, including his quarterbacks, to the point where it feels like they're going to mutiny against him at some point. Where I know it's a young team, but any veteran on that team, and I still haven't seen Vontaze Burfict. I don't know what happened.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't have Tez on there.
Because I don't think he would put up with this.
Yeah.
I could be wrong. Shannon Sharpe in his prime, you
No. But see, as a rookie, Skip, you deal with it as a rookie. No, hell no.
But Josh Jacobs is a first-round pick, and he's a stud.
Yeah.
And he doesn't deserve that kind of treatment.
But Skip, John, you were a color guy. You're supposed to know where Danny Woodhead was from.
Yeah.
You have a sheet up there that tells you all this stuff. And so you did this for, what, a decade, Skip?
That's interesting.
So you know where these guys are from. These guys, I'm not worried about where the guy's from. I'm worried about, okay, what does he do? How is he going to cover me? Okay, when he comes on a blitz, bless you, Jenny. If he's a linebacker, he blitz.
Yep.
Does he like to pick a side? Is he going to try to bull me?
Okay,
That's what I'm worried about. Skip, what school he went to have to do with anything?
Okay, so there became three sort of unknown player storylines through these 4 Hard Knocks. That Keelan Doss, that kid from the Oakland area who went to UC Davis, and then Jason Cabin, who went to Penn State and was trying to make it as a linebacker and a little bit as a special teamer.
Yep.
And then Luke Wilson, who was pretty good in Seattle and went to 2 Super Bowls, was trying to reinvent himself.
Yeah, he was a starter.
Yeah, he was a starter. So what happened to all 3 of those guys? Pretty shockingly, all 3 got cut.
Right.
This is just my takeaway from Hard Knocks. It felt like Gruden cut all 3 because he thought they were becoming too big a story. And when he tried to defend the cutting of Keelan Doss, he said to the media the other day, that's your storyline. That's not mine, that he was becoming not a star, but a thing on the team, right?
I thought he played well.
Oh,
he had a few drops, but he
had 2 drops,
but he bounced back and played really well.
He caught 6 balls in that game.
Yeah.
Which brings me to the other quote-unquote star that he shared the marquee with, who was Antonio Brown. And it ends with Antonio in his pool going through a workout. Looked good. He looks great. He looked great in practice.
Yeah.
But within the last hour, he posted something on IG.
What did he post?
What did he post? Shot fired at the Raiders because he posted a letter that he got from Mike Mayock detailing his fines that he got fined on August 22nd and then also back on August 18th. And the language of this is threatening that we will fine you again.
Right.
If you miss meetings or you're late or whatever. And Antonio posted something, and I'm not sure I understand it, but it feels like it was a shot. I don't know exactly what it means.
Oh, it's a shot.
Yeah. When your own team want to hate, but there's no stopping me now. Devil is a lie. Everyone got to pay this year, so we clear. Raiders.
So let me get this straight, Skip. We tear your deal up from the previous. We give you $50 million guaranteed. I mean, $30 million. You got $30 million over the next 2 years.
Yep.
$50 million basically for 3 years. You was on, I think, maybe 2 episodes ago with your arm around Jon Gruden telling him how much you appreciated him supporting you when the outside world was against you.
Through the helmet controversy.
Through the helmet controversy. Now they hating on you. They hating on you because you didn't show up for walkthrough like everybody else did.
That is correct.
They hating on you because you didn't show up for practice like everybody else did. I told you, Skip Bayless, I told you this dude is who he is. He's what he is. And when you give him money, you make him more of what he already is. They're going to learn the hard way. There is no way he's going to make it 3 years in Oakland.
How about 3 games?
This
Seriously.
is worrisome.
Worrisome.
You know why he's
Shot
upset, Skip?
fired.
Yeah.
Because he did all this stuff in Pittsburgh and he never got a fine.
Yep. How dare you find me? I'm
For not showing
being
up to work.
myself. Yeah.
This is.
Hey, Skip, you know what? Hey, y'all gonna be on here. Hey, where's Shannon? You gonna be at 4 o'clock meeting, 4:30? Where's Shannon? 5 o'clock, where's Shannon? What the hell you expect out of me? Come on, dude.
Shannon's a Hall of Famer. He can do whatever he wants.
Skip, this dude actually thought that he could miss practice and everything was cool.
That's fine.
I don't think it's past tense. I think he thinks he can miss practice, right?
Walkthrough, they got a walkthrough. And he don't even, like, walkthrough. So, but you
So
know
what-
what? He I don't know how he's going to defend it, but he and his defenders defend it. Oh, why should Antonio Brown got to go to walkthrough? God, that part of his job.
Part of the team. You're
What I got to go
paid
to
be
Skip?
there.
What I got to go to work?
Part of the
God,
job.
that part of your job is coming to work.
What did I tell you? Leaped out at me about the first team meeting of camp that we saw on Hard Knocks. Antonio was standing clear at the back in the doorway and would not take a seat.
Yeah.
Derek Carr's teacher's pet. He's trying to be front and center. Leaders are up
Yes.
front. Shannon Sharpe, I think, would have been up front in that one, probably. Maybe.
During team meetings, I didn't sit up front. I
I was going to
sat
say,
in the middle.
Hard
In the
Knocks,
middle.
there's a few episodes
Yeah,
where
we in the
I
back.
see you
Yeah,
in
we in
the
the back.
Okay.
Because the rookies,
Yeah. I did do a
most
little
rookies
research.
know they better have their butt up in the front.
Yeah.
You better not be back here with, what you back here with me for?
And a couple times Gruden went with this, knock on wood if you're with
Oh,
me.
no.
And they show Antonio at the back, and he's just sitting there like he's not knocking on anything.
Skip, that tweet, that's who that young man is. Now, if you think he's anything other than that, you're fooling yourself.
I just think this is the beginning of a big problem.
How about the
this
beginning of the
message
end?
right here?
Skip.
How many followers does he have that just read this?
Listen.
I mean, that's
Hey,
insane.
it's insane. And remember, we've gone over this several times, but Jon Gruden just sent the original Keyshawn Johnson in Tampa home. Sent him home. And the original Keyshawn said, no one can talk to me that way.
Right.
I've never been talked to that way. Well, this guy, Antonio is exactly who John needs and who John doesn't want to coach.
Yeah. Skip, my grandma used to always have a saying. She said, boy, be a fool tomorrow. Don't be a fool today. Because I'll be a fool, be a fool tomorrow. Don't be a fool today. Because maybe if you wake up, you'll be okay. Skip,
Maybe.
I can't believe this, Skip. First of all, they ask you not to tweet this kind of stuff out.
I would say, this is, well,
Or to show it to the media.
This is the same guy who went Facebook Live while his coach was talking in the locker room after a big win on the road at Kansas City in the playoffs, right? And you said that's the last
That's
straw,
it.
right?
Because, Skip, he was making $3-4 million, and he would do that. If you give him $15, $16, $17 million with security, I keep telling people this all the time, and people that know me will tell you Shannon Sharpe is the same as he was in 86, 96, 06, 16, and 19. Antonio Brown is exactly who he is. Money does not change you. Money makes you more of what you already are.
Yep.
If you a jerk, you become a gaping butthole. And that's what that young man is because he's been emboldened with the financial security that the Raiders have bequeathed him. And he's not going to change. Now, if you think Antonio say, you know what? I got what I wanted. I got my money. The quarterback doesn't talk out of pocket to me.
Yep.
The organization does not cool with him talking out of pocket. He got everything he wanted, Skip, and he's still doing the same bull jive. For what? Because that's who he is.
You better believe.
If you think Jon Gruden cursed a lot on Hard Knocks, somewhere behind closed doors right now, he's F-bombing like crazy over this.
Yes. I mean, Skip, what are you going to do?
They got to do something.
Maybe 1 year. I give it 1 year. Skip, at the rate they're going right now, I give it a year.
You just can't let
give it
this
a year.
stuff get away because that's when it becomes a situation
I give it
we had
3 or
with the
4 games
Steelers.
before there's a big public blow up. That's what's
But I sure wish FS1 was against me and give me $30 million. I want FS1 to be against me and you, Skip, and give us $30 million apiece and hey.
Oh, must be nice.
What?
We don't always predict topics for the next day, but I have a feeling the Raiders may have a response to this one that we will be learning more about tomorrow. But either way, we're going to go back to Zeke because that is the story of the day. Rob Parker, he joins us.
Yep.
What on earth is he going to have to say about this new deal next?
No mercy.
Well, Ezekiel Elliott's holdout is over. Zeke and the Cowboys agreed on a 6-year, $90 million extension with $50 million guaranteed. Overall, Zeke's contract is now 8 years and $103 million, which makes him the highest paid running back in the league. Zeke is expected to be at practice today and to play this Sunday against the Giants. And we're now joined by Rob Parker. I'm glad that you are here today.
Somebody's going to try to rain on an unrainable parade.
Are you sure, Skip Bayless?
I'd like to hear it. Who won this deal?
Well, first of all, it was Ezekiel Elliott because Jerry Jones caved. Jerry Jones, with all the bravado that he was talking, you don't need a rushing leader to win a Super Bowl. Zeke, who, you remember after Pollard had a decent game or whatever in the preseason. All that. He wilted in the Texas Sun. He wilted. But here's the thing. And before we talk about that contract, would you say $90 million? It's a $50 million deal. Let's just talk about guaranteed
Look at the
money.
guarantees.
All that other stuff.
Fair.
It's a great deal for him. Excuse me.
It's all right.
I'm happy for him.
It's okay. You're getting worked up.
Yeah, I'm all worked up.
Yeah.
It happens around here. You never know what you're going to get.
I'm good. Okay. I'm so excited about this. But Skip Bayless, to you, this contract and this deal is an indictment of Dak Prescott. That's why Ezekiel Elliott has this contract. This is a quarterback league, Skip Bayless. This ain't about a running back. The last running back who led the league and won a Super Bowl played with this man back in 1998. It's never about the running back.
By the way, that guy won 2 Super Bowls for
did.
John Elway.
TD was awesome, right?
Yep.
But,
John Elway, not so much. Go ahead.
Yeah, John was Super Bowl MVP of the last one.
But, Skip, this is what Jerry Jones is scared to death. We saw Patrick Mahomes, lose Kareem Hunt, who was the leading rusher his rookie year, right? Yeah. Lost him, still got to the AFC Championship game, and still had a chance. The Cowboys and Jerry Jones knows Dak Prescott is a third-tier quarterback, isn't good enough to lead the team. Can't go with Pollard and just put any running back in there. This team is geared for Ezekiel Elliott. He's the most important player, and this is why he got the deal. Most teams with a star quarterback would have been able to say, you know what, we'll come back to you later.
Ask Melvin Gordon.
That's right. And that's why Dak Prescott, and I know down the road they'll wind up overpaying him and whatnot, but the reason that Zeke got this and that Jerry caved and brought this guy in before the season, he was even afraid to play the Giants or Washington or the Dolphins, 3 of the worst teams in the league. He was afraid to play them with Dak Prescott because he knows Dak isn't good enough.
Go ahead, Skip. I know you
really want me to
I
go?
want you to go ahead. I know you chomping.
Rob Parker, even your foolish bluster cannot make me unhappy on this day because I've never been any happier. And my team is poised to go on a Super Bowl run through the NFC this year, in part because of the running back, because he is simply the best running back in football. I've been trying to convince him of that, and I'm more than ever convinced of that. And I'm happy he got whatever money he was trying to get. My quarterback put up top 5 numbers over the last 10 games last year, and Jerry Jones knows that full well. I believe that Jerry Jones believes in our quarterback more even than he does the running back, which is why you're about to eat all those words you just spewed all over the table.
I even needed a tissue.
In the next 48 hours, you're going to see Dak Prescott get, I'm just going to guess, $112 million guaranteed dollars. Zeke just got 50. His best friend on the team is going to get more than twice as many guaranteed dollars because he is not only a quarterback, he's the quarterback of America's team. He's the leader of that franchise. He's become the face of the franchise, and he has become the clutch playmaker of that football team. So Jerry will pay him what he is worth because he's better than Jared Goff, who just got $110 million guaranteed. He's better.
Are you sure of that?
He's better than Carson Wentz, who got $108 million guaranteed. By the way, those are the 2 most guaranteed contracts in the whole league. And Dak is about to break those 2 new records with, I'm going to just guess, 112. He'll get more than those 2 got guaranteed.
Right.
Because Jerry believes in him even more than he does in Zeke.
Is that what it's about, or is it just about the system and the way it shakes down with the quarterback?
As much as I'm happy for Zeke, and I don't want to redraw battle lines between Jerry and Zeke, I feel a little sorry for Zeke because would you believe that the defensive end on this team got considerably more money than Zeke just got? Because just recently, Demarcus Lawrence got $65 million guaranteed and $21 a year. So Zeke's 15 a year and 50 guaranteed. So Demarcus Lawrence, a defensive end, got 15 more million guaranteed. His package is 5 years, $105 million.
But you can't judge those contracts the same, Skip, because you know running backs have a shorter shelf life, and there's a chance of them getting hurt a lot more than other players.
And it's hard for me to feel sorry for somebody that got $50 million.
Guaranteed.
I do feel sorry for him because he's better than $50 million. He deserves more than $50 million.
He does, Skip, but that's what the marketplace said. I mean, and that's what the running backs. I mean, he got the most money ever for a running back. That just goes to show you that, like you said, I don't know. You said Mel Kiper started this. The running back is devalued,
and it's no shot at Mel because he was making a strong case.
Right.
They were, in fact, going into the Zeke draft. I think he thought that's way too high to take Zeke. He's just Zeke the freak. He's special, man.
But every once in a while, Skip, you come across a back. Adrian Peterson is not devalued. There's a reason why he rushed for almost 2,100 yards and won the MVP. These guys are unique. Yeah, just like quarterbacks. Everybody can't be Tom Brady, Breeze, and Bledsoe, and a Roethlisberger. Everybody can't be. There are tiers to these guys. And the tier guys, you pay a premium. And Zeke is one of those running backs that you pay a premium to. Skip, he got everything he wanted. He wanted more guaranteed money than Gurley. He wanted a yearly average than Gurley. He's the first running back to have a total value contract over $100 million. He got everything that he wanted. And for all this, you don't need a running back. Skip, there's only been, in the Super Bowl era, there's only been 4 running backs, 4 times that the leading league's rusher won the Super Bowl. Emmitt did it 3 times, I think did it 3 times, and TD. So that just goes to show you. But Jerry understood the value of Zeke. He can't let what some other teams value the running back put an unfair blinders on him.
Yep. Well, especially on this team with Dak Prescott.
Nobody else is paying their running back, so I almost go hard line my guy. No. All those other teams don't have a chance to get to the Super Bowl. You got a chance to get to the Super Bowl.
And Jerry needs to get to a Super Bowl, and Jerry needs to win. Despite being in the Hall of Fame, he knows since Jimmy Johnson's been gone, he really hadn't been able to do anything. They've won 3 playoff games in 25 years, roughly.
He did win one with Barry Switzer.
But that was Jimmy's player.
Jimmy's team. Shannon, you could have coached that team.
He pulled a Gruden.
Yes.
Oh, Gruden won the Super Bowl, but just look at the player that he had.
Just for the record, Jerry had something to do with acquiring those players that won that Super Bowl.
We give him Charles Haley and a deal.
Okay, but what about since then, Skip? It's been almost 25 years.
I can't defend that, but he did not cave on this deal. Because
he did cave.
What Jerry does best is negotiate contracts. This was his Super Bowl. He didn't cave. He just gave Zeke exactly what he had budgeted to give Zeke in the first place. So from day one.
If he was going to do that, why not do it earlier, Skip? Get your guy in the training camp. If you were going to give him that, he has to be the highest paid, right?
Right.
And if you honestly were going to give him that at the end of the day, what's the game you're playing?
The game
now that the game is, he comes out, plays against the Giants, not ready, God forbid, tweak something because you rush him back out there,
for the
right?
worst case scenario, aren't you?
I'll help you.
Thank you very much.
I don't want that to happen, but I'm just saying, no, I don't.
It's okay. It's okay.
I don't want it, but I'm saying it could.
The beauty of this holdout was he kept Zeke out of harm's way for the whole training camp. He didn't run any short yardage goal line drills. He didn't run. He wasn't even tempted to run Zeke one play in one preseason game because he was in Cabo San Lucas. And now he's back. He's fresh. He's ready. He's happy.
Jerry's lucky. He could have gotten in trouble down there, right? And maybe not make it for the opening.
No, he wasn't getting in trouble because they messed up his money.
Right?
He definitely wouldn't have got no 50 million. He got in trouble.
He's on house arrest, I hope. Just hanging out.
Jerry's got connections to those Mexican authorities.
Oh, is that okay?
When you got that,
because Jerry spent his share of time in Cabo. Trust me.
When you got $7 billion, you in touch with a lot of people. You ain't good with a lot of folks.
Rob, I'm sorry, but this was a bombshell of momentum for the locker room. Dak will be the second bombshell that will fall next 48 to 72 hours before game 1. He will get his money. Amari will get his money sometime early in the season. And all of a sudden, Zeke will wake up one day and say, man, I'm the 4th highest paid Dallas Cowboy. But he's got to be happy with that.
No, he's got to be happy because he's a running back. And you've seen what they've done to guys now.
Right.
They don't want to pay you. They use you up.
Right.
And then you're done in 4 or 5 years and they go get a younger guy.
Yeah, he understand. Rob, we got Skip tied down.
Oh, yeah.
Because he been floating on there the whole. We got him tied down like a Macy's Day balloon.
You know that.
He's just so happy.
He was happy
More
earlier.
Smiling than I've ever
But now
You know
he
what? I got to
realizes.
do it one more time. I just got to
Again?
stand up
What are
and
you
give
doing?
Jerry Jones a standing ovation
For caving?
for what he just pulled off.
caving?
Thank you, Jerry.
caved.
Here we go.
Skip, he
Super Bowl,
caved.
here we come. I don't care.
Where was all the bravado? I'm from Texas.
It's
I know
negotiating.
Zeke who?
Yeah.
How are
They
you
call
negotiating when you give the
negotiating.
guy what he wanted? Is that negotiating?
Yep.
That's caving.
Oh.
Rob, he's signed, sealed, and delivered for 8 more years. Somewhere Jerry is. He's rang that bell on the stock exchange. Ding, ding, ding.
Actually, it's only a 3-year deal.
That's all it is. Thank you, Shannon, please. And it's only $50 million guaranteed. So all these phony numbers they throw out.
He won't see year 8 of that contract. He won't year 6, 7.
Watch, in 1 year, he'll look like he's underpaid. Just watch.
Oh, yeah. Because the cap goes up, what, 5-10% a year?
Yep.
Yeah, in 2 years, absolutely.
You need to get up again, Skip?
Nope,
or are we
I'm
good
good.
for now?
I'm good to go.
Rob,
What about me? Or my
appreciate your
performance? Are you
take.
going to give me
You did okay. You tried. You failed. It happens.
Rob, you can't win today.
I can't win.
Unfortunately,
Skip.
this is going to be all Skip.
Come back on Monday.
Either way,
Win on Monday. When the
thought I
Giants
had
glad to have you.
Wait, did you just predict a Giants upset?
when the Giants bring this upset on.
Okay,
It's a whole
somebody's
different
predicting.
day. Whole different day. We're talking about Tom Brady next. He opened up about how much he's going to actually miss Brian Hoyer.
Yep.
These two have different takes. We'll tell you next.
No mercy.
Brian Hoyer may have been cut by the Patriots over the weekend, but the veteran quarterback left a lasting impression on, well, Tom Brady. During his weekly radio interview yesterday, Brady said that Hoyer was the person who would routinely pick him up when he was down. Take a listen.
Brian provided a lot, and he is a great quarterback for our team, and he won an all-season award. He just brought a great positive energy to the team and always optimistic. And, you know, I think there's times for me that I get frustrated or I get down or disappointed in things that may happen, and he would try to bring me back to center pretty quickly. So I love the relationship I have with him. It'll certainly continue on in its own personal way. We just won't be working together.
Shannon, you there?
Skip.
You got any sympathy?
It's really Skip.
Really?
No, hell no.
You have hell no sympathy?
No. Skip Bayless, you know how this business works. Tom Brady's been in the NFL for 20 years. I can assure you, Brian Hoyer is not the first friend that's gotten cut. This happens in NFL football. Why am I going to feel so? Brian Hoyer has been, this is his 17th, and somehow he snags a $9 million contract guaranteed. And I'm supposed to feel sorry for what? For who?
For Tom Brady. He's not a Patriot anymore.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter where
Built
he's
him
playing. He's not a Patriot.
Skip Bayless.
It's not about Brian Hoyer. It's about Tom Brady.
Guess what? Tom Brady goes home, open the door. Guess who runs and gives him a kiss? Giselle. That's his support. That's his support, emotional support.
When he opens the locker room door, who runs to him and gives him a
Ain't
kiss?
nobody to get
Nobody.
it. No, what he mad about, because old Cole Belichick don't open the locker room door
Thank
and want to give him a
you.
hug.
Thank you.
kisses
Now you're
there.
finally coming around to getting what's happening here.
But
Do you realize Tom Brady finally said something publicly straight from his heart? There was no lame cliche. There was no gee whiz, aw shucks. He spoke straight from the heart about basically, remember the context. He is being forced to play for a heartless coach who wanted to get rid of him.
Yes.
Am I right about that?
Yes.
Okay, so he had one guy on his side, a veteran quarterback who started a bunch of games in this league, so who gets it, who knows it, who came up through the New England system. And that guy was his rock, that when it got really rough with Belichick, he could lean a little bit on Brian Hoyer. And what just happened? Belichick just cut Brian Hoyer, and he kept, oh, wait a second, the rookie quarterback he's clearly fast-tracking to replace Tom Brady. So now Brady's rock, you know, the only guy he can talk to in the quarterback room, other than Josh McDaniels, obviously the coordinator, is the guy Belichick wants to replace Brady with. You like that?
I love it.
Okay, so once, just once, he just spoke from the heart. He said, I'm going to miss this guy.
Doesn't Coach Belichick have an obligation to do what he thinks in the best interest of the team and not the best interest of
I
Tom
think
Brady?
he did something in the best interest of Belichick, because in the best interest of the team, you keep Brian Hoyer.
No, Jason Stidham better.
Oh, Jarrett
Jarrett.
Stidham.
It's Jarrett, right?
Jarrett, yeah.
Jarrett Stidham,
Yeah, right, okay.
He's better. He's better, Skip.
He's not better than Brian Hoyer. If you got to win 2 games in the middle of the year, who's got a better shot?
Well,
Brian Hoyer
If
does.
Brian Hoyer could win games, he wouldn't have been on this. The Colts wouldn't be at 17, right?
37 starts in his career.
I have
Hoyer.
called him the most valuable backup in the league, and I think Indy
As
made
long
a
as you
good
keep-
buy.
As long as you keep him as that.
Okay.
The problem is that when you become the starter.
Okay, well, I got you, but he can win games. Isn't he like just a couple of games under 500?
No, that ain't good.
Yeah. And being a backup is a hard position to be in, so he has had
Yeah.
success in
No,
that
it's a good
role.
position to be in
Yeah.
because everybody thinks you can do better than you can. They just went, oh, bro, put Hoyer. We want Hoyer. And then as soon as he starts to play, boom, get him out of there. He's a bum. You ought to stop, Skip Bayless.
Now Tom Brady's got to go it alone.
Well,
right?
Skip, I don't know what you think, but I think this slams the door on our case.
Which
Colin Kaepernick ain't playing no more.
Oh, well, okay, I'll give you that.
Oh,
I think this slams the case.
I think that got slammed a long time ago.
And they just, I mean, this is like animation. They just keep slamming doors. You know, animation, they just boom, just keep slamming. It's over. But Brian Hoyer, look, Skip, I can see if he got released, no one picked him up. He's like, oh, man, my boy, Brian he's married.
Okay, but no, he's
in a good place.
He's not saying it for Brian. He's saying it for Tom. Yeah. Tom's talking about Tom.
I believe what happened, Skip, is that when the situation, because Hoyer came back when they shipped Jimmy G to San Francisco.
Yeah.
And I believe he came back, and that's when he could because they had a relationship before he actually left and went about his way. And he bounced some things off of like, man, this, it's tough. Coach Belichick, I know what's going on. So everybody else, but that was not true. Yeah,
he could go to Hoyer and vent about Belichick, right? Because this is not a pretty sight what he has to do.
Coach Belichick is doing what's best for the team.
Oh, is
and
he?
I appreciate him doing that.
What's best for Belichick?
Now that's what's best for Belichick.
All he wants to do is win a Super Bowl without Tom Brady, and he is positioning that to happen after this year.
Coaches do this all the time, Skip.
Oh, do they all the time? To the greatest quarterback in the history of football?
Skip,
tell me.
My grandfather was in the military, and I know a little bit about the military, but there's a reason why they don't have higher-ups dealing with subordinates, having a personal relationship, because it clouds your
They're very
judgment.
strict on that.
It clouds your judgment. Coach Belichick's dad was in the Navy, right? Didn't he? We coached at the Naval Academy or something.
Yep.
So he understands that Coach Belichick's going to have to make a tough decision at some point in time. You see, God punished David for doing what, Skip? It clouded his judgment with Bathsheba.
Okay.
Because what did he do? He sends Bathsheba's husband to the front. Knew what was going to befall him.
He did.
Coach Belichick understands I cannot have this type of personal relationship because at some point in time, be it sooner or later, I'm going to have to make a decision, and I don't want my judgment to be clouded. So that's why he's been Heisman posed every player that's come through that organization.
Except for this player who is more valuable than that coach.
No, he's not.
Yep.
No, he's not.
So it's not like the
Except
military.
Jimmy G. I take that back. He ain't Heisman posed Jimmy G. He love old Jimmy G.
Now he does.
Yeah, he like, what you talking? You got your son, I got mine.
Kind of talk about different quarterbacks. Which QB is going to have a better season, Dak or Wentz?
Oh, well, that's easy.
Shockingly, these two,
Whatever.
they don't agree. That's next.
No mercy.
All right, time for our final topic of the day. Carson Wentz and Dak Prescott each got votes to lead the league this season in total QBR, a panel of NFL experts.
Dak got a vote?
They selected who they thought would lead the league
Shannon.
in different categories, and the two NFC East rivals caught the experts' eyes. So, Shannon, who is going to have the highest total QBR this season, Wentz or Dak?
Walk it to him. Walk it to him is the better quarterback. He has the better team around him. And the only thing that's held him back is injury. I believe he'll be injury-free this year.
Really? You're predicting that?
Yes,
All
he'll be
16?
injury-free this year.
I'm going to knock on wood for
and you will see the real walk it to him, and you'll learn why he earned the nickname.
Really interesting. So thanks probably to you. There's some people out there who think I'm a lunatic for supporting Dak Prescott. And then here comes my old friend Dan Graziano at ESPN, who really knows football. Wait a second. He's predicting that Dak will be #1 in NFL QBR. And his logic is full season with Amari, Travis Frederick back at center, Zeke's back in the fold, and Dan says Dak will have his best year yet. That's after he was third as a rookie, fourth his second year. That's interesting.
In the last 2
how do
years-
you defend that, Shannon? Maybe I'm on to something.
I mean, my guy finished in front of him his second year and his third year in the league.
Oh, really? And
yeah,
my guy beat your guy twice last year with two scintillating fourth quarters and an overtime. 331 yards just in the fourth quarters and overtime.
So let me ask you a question. Did Walk It To Him get any help? So what is D-Jack going to do? What is Jordan Howard? Miles Sanders?
And everywhere D-Jack has gone, he's done what? How many Super Bowls does he have on his
Oh,
record?
he's a quarterback.
Oh, really?
Oh, he's supposed to win the Super Bowl with what he had. Now you talk about Kirk Cousins, how bad he is, but D-Jack was playing with that in Washington. You talk about Fitzmagic and Jameis in Tampa, but that's what he had down there.
Okay, well,
What
he's
a
with
day.
another Jameis.
You okay?
No mercy.
Thanks for listening to the Undisputed podcast. I'm Jenny Taft. Join us again at the same time tomorrow morning, 9:30 Eastern. We'll see you then.
Fox Sports 1 of 1.